Hello. How's everyone doing?
Bob's out on the porch, you guys. You should show your face, Bob.
This music's pretty awesome. I'd have to, hang on, let me see. I don't know if I can control things from here.
Oh, I can put you on there.
I'm
Oh,
on
no.
there.
Oh, yeah, it's because the...
Here, watch,
okay.
watch. See?
Whoa,
There.
look at that. Bob's outside. Good morning, Virginia Wolf.
What's up, y'all?
Good morning, Akira. Let me just say good morning to everybody in the chat, because I don't think you can see chat anymore, right?
No, I can't. Oh, I can, yes, hang on.
Oh, you can now?
Yep.
Okay, so good morning to Cyborg Mama, Glowy, Silver Stasher when he comes back in. EC Juggalos at work. We got Dr. Fell. Yes, I wanted to answer that actually. Yeah, we did see that, because we don't talk about politics here, but we can talk about this. Donald Trump did request that Bryan Kohberger be made to speak. And I was wondering what you guys thought of that. I do see that Judy says, shout out to Judy, if anyone thinks telling BK telling them how he hurt them will matter one tiny bit, I will say it won't matter to him. He's a psychopath. And Akira says, withholding information, giving context.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's a psychopath
giving
too.
context only tortures people.
I don't know, man. We've talked about this a lot. And I don't know. I think he might have did it.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. So, Bob and I, am I echoing at all?
No, not here.
Okay. All right. I know, I could just hear, let me see. Okay. I was just going to say, so a lot of people are wondering about his guilty plea. So the big question now is, can Bryan Kohberger still appeal this case? And I'm not sure, because he pled guilty as part of his deal. So he's basically telling the court he's not going to fight this. But when Bob and I looked into it a little bit more, there are certain circumstances where Bryan Kohberger's plea deal will not bar him from being able to appeal. And the judge also said just because it is a part of the plea deal does not mean that he cannot appeal. So also if he had a coercion to give his plea, or if he was misled, or if the court made too many mistakes and he just wants to get the hell out of there, he might also be able to appeal if the sentence goes above and beyond what he agreed to, which it will not. He can always also file post-conviction stuff, if the legal mistakes are caught that happen, such as withholding information from Ann Taylor and just shooting everything down that they were proposing happened with the case. I thought that was super unfair that they were doing things like that. But I think it's a long shot, but it's not impossible that he would appeal. As you guys know, for 2.5 years, we have been talking about the fact that we believe that Bryan Kohberger is innocent, but today we will see if he is made to speak, and we will also hear from what really matters today is hearing from the victims' families, because today they finally get to speak to Bryan Kohberger, and that's the man who stole members of each of their respective families: Kaylee Goncalves, Maddie Mogan, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. They were all stolen from this world, and there were 4 beautiful young people. So today their families are going to be able to say their piece straight to Bryan, and they're going to be able to say what needs to be said. They're going to be raw and real and probably very emotional in front of the court, in front of Bryan Kohberger, and in front of you and the entire world. But the thing is that if I'm understanding correctly, Bryan Kohberger is not required to say one word. He's not required to talk. He can sit there in silence. I would say like a coward, but he's not going to hear every word. He's kind of based on my psychology education, I can tell you he's not if he did do these crimes, then Bryan Kohberger is not even able to feel any kind of empathy or sympathy or compassion for any of the words coming out of these people's mouths. But like Dr. Fell brought up, the president got involved in this case, trying to make sure that justice does not slip through the cracks. This is the disclaimer. I am not agreeing or disagreeing with who is the president. We don't get involved with that. But it just tells you how deep this case runs, that it would go all the way up to the president. I did see a few videos this morning, one with Brian Enton from News Nation, showing the prison that Bryan would be in. It is actually right in the middle of the desert. And they're talking about solitary confinement, which is crazy to think that they would sentence somebody for the rest of their life to solitary confinement, is my opinion. So when this gets started, we will be in the chat, and we will be discussing and reacting with all of you. I do not have my clown makeup on right now, so I am not going to be on screen, but you will be able to see Bob's gorgeous face when he decides to grace you with it. And don't forget that later on, there he is. Don't forget that later on tonight at 7 p.m., we will have a wrestling debate. This wrestling debate is going to be hosted by Tommy Grayson of the Backseat Boys. He will have the debate questions. He will be the mediator. Now, this is where you guys come in. So we're trying to have a debate on which wrestling promotion is best. So we have Humble Among on the JCW side, and we have Kosuke on the GCW side. So we will be showing clips, and the chat is going to decide which promotion does it better, question by question. We're going to go through I think it's 17 questions or something. And you guys get to decide who's making a better argument, Humble or Kosuke, and you will be enjoying this because it will be with Bob and I and EC and Tommy Grayson, Humble Among, and Kosuke. So please, if you enjoy wrestling or you just want to support our channel, please do so by coming back here today at 7 p.m. Eastern for the wrestling debate. So Bob, I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes while I excuse myself. I'll be watching you though. Okay, so if you need me, I'll be right in the chat.
All right, cool. So what are we gonna do? Guess I'm gonna pop over here, check this out, see how far we are away from this. And it is saying 48 minutes. All right. That's awesome. This is a proper case of to cover. All right, sorry. So what's up with everybody? Do you think he pleaded guilty to save himself? Who knows? I think by him saying that he's guilty, he really did it. I mean, why? Why would you admit to something that you didn't do? Do you think he'll go to the hospital or prison? Probably both. Yeah, what is that? Let's look that up. All right. Okay, in the United States law, is it Alfred plea? Alfrea plea? Hang on, let's see. Search this wrong. Is it the Alfred plea? That's the only thing that's coming out. But the Alfred plea, let's see.
Right here on the screen. It says
yeah,
it's with the West Memphis 3 got off on their appeal. They pled guilty, but they were released as time served because there wasn't enough evidence to convict them in the first place. I feel like him pleading guilty leaves the door open if it's available. Yeah, I was thinking that too, because it's like very weird that I don't know if you're familiar that much with this case, except what you've seen here, but like the whole 2.5 years, his lawyer has been like trying to get this evidence unsealed and trying to get different suspects in the spotlight, but there has been no spotlight on anybody except Bryan. And the thing about that is that Bryan, the only thing they have on him really, there's like, so like, I know that you came on this case a little bit late, but there's no murder weapon found. There's just like what they have on him is a knife sheath. They have cell phone pings from the area, and they have I guess consequential evidence, same thing as the Memphis 3. Okay, well, we have time. We were going to play a few shorts, but I do want to see this because I am familiar with that case, but I never knew that they got that. I just knew the original. So the Arkansas Supreme, let me just share this.
Yeah, you have to present it.
Okay.
And I'll remove the picture.
Okay. Present. Okay. Here we go. So this is what Akira is telling us about. Is that on there?
It's, yeah, it's now.
Okay, so I got to get back to it. It says the Arkansas Supreme Court overturned a lower court's decision allowing for further DNA testing in the West Memphis 3 case. The ruling allows Damian Eccles, one of the Memphis 3, to pursue additional DNA testing to potentially demonstrate his innocence. The court determined that the person convicted of a crime can petition DNA. Okay. They reversed the circuit court's decision, which blocked Echo's request.
They were like a satanic group or something. I kind of remember that case. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they were. That's really weird. New DNA. It says the Arkansas Supreme Court decided 4-3 to reverse a 2022 lower court decision and allow genetic testing crime evidence of the 1993 killing of 3 people. Wow. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I believe, you know what? I do remember that. They were saying that that they were blamed because of their beliefs and because they were different and because oh, they're being Wiccan. Okay, I thought thought the public believed them to be satanic or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was like it was so long ago, man. I don't quite remember, but
it's crazy.
I remember seeing like something. I mean, I guess like the news pretty much said they were satanic, but yeah, Wiccan. I think I also heard that. I didn't get really big into that case. I don't remember what actually happened to you.
I'm kind of skimming right now because it's been a long time.
Yeah. I was obsessed with the case all through college and since then. Gotcha. You still there?
I am. I was just about to read something.
Okay.
So what I found was the West Memphis 3 case involves so if you're not familiar, the West Memphis case involves 1993 murders of 3 8-year-old boys, Stevie Branch, Michael Moore, and Christopher Byers in West Memphis, Arkansas. Their bodies were found in a wooded area, bound and mutilated. 3 teenagers, Damian Eccles, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Miskelly Jr., were arrested and convicted largely based on a coerced confession, alleged satanic motives, and community panic. Ms. Kelly, who had a low IQ, confessed under pressure and implicated the others, though his statement was inconsistent and contradicted physical evidence. Over time, DNA testing and growing public scrutiny revealed no physical evidence linking them to the crime. After nearly 2 decades in prison, they were released in 2011 through the Alford plea, which allowed them to maintain their innocence while pleading guilty. The case remains controversial and unsolved. Wow.
Interesting.
That's crazy. So they spent that much time and 2 decades in prison? Wow. That's insane. Oh my gosh. So one of them was going to be on death row. God, that's crazy. Man, that's disturbing, you guys, that like we could literally be framed for something based on, I don't know, what we look like or like what we, do you know what I mean? It's like you dress a certain way. Well, if anybody in here is a juggalo, you would totally understand this. If anybody's ever been any kind of outcast or any kind of different anywhere they live, you can totally understand this. It's just disturbing, you know? I was wondering, it happens to you every day. Yeah. It sucks. So you guys don't judge people based on what you think they are, based on what they look like. That's so funny, Virginia. I need 1 second, Bob.
I was going to put something up on the screen real quick. This program is such a fucking pain in the ass, man. Why?
Yes, so Virginia and Akira, I hope you join us at 7 o'clock as well, because I know you're wrestling fans. What's this? Oh, okay, here we go, Akira.
In a statement given to the police and obtained by a Memphis newspaper, 17-year-old Jesse Miskelly allegedly confesses to watching 2 other suspects choke, rape, and sexually mutilate 3 West Memphis second graders.
The murders had been part of a satanic ritual.
Satanic
A
worship.
horrific, ritualistic sacrifice.
We're just sitting on the couch watching TV the night we were arrested.
They had to find somebody to pin this on. This publicity was getting out of hand.
We, the jury, find Jesse Lloyd Miskelly Jr. guilty of second-degree murder, Jason Baldwin guilty of capital murder, Damian Eccles guilty of capital murder.
This doesn't change anything.
Our son was still
Christopher's dead,
Our son
and he
was
was
still
tortured to death by 3 murdering bastards on a ditch bank. He was 8 years old. Damn system stinks.
It's a great tragedy that kids was killed, but it's also another great tragedy that American citizens, anybody, today's public, can just be picked up for a crime they didn't commit.
Everybody in the town and in the courtroom and on the jury are all blinded by their fantasies about satanic cults.
The criminal confessions are too many manipulated by the police.
And we wondering if the true killers were actually captured.
Jesse Miskelly Jr., Jason Baldwin, Damian Eccles. I promise you, as God is my witness, I'll visit all 3 of your graves.
My goodness. Wow. Wow. So I just want to play a short real quick because we did, it's kind of related in my mind right now because I'm thinking about the fact that we have 2 lives today, and Bob and I are still kind of putting together stuff for the wrestling live while we're doing this. Yeah. It's a lot of work, so hopefully you guys will be there for us. But this short is actually one of the JCW wrestlers that we have had on our show, and his name is Congo Kong. And before I let you see this clip, I wanted to remind you that Congo Kong is a very large wrestler. Okay. And Congo Kong is like super powerful. And he said that even at his size, he wouldn't be able to do what Bryan Kohberger did in the time he had. But we did have a short that we put out on the Strange Suspicion channel that I just want to remind you guys of, that if Bryan Kohberger is not just pleading guilty like is it the Memphis 3, right? I believe so. If he's not doing it like that, then he had all of us fooled, even Congo Kong. So let me present this really quickly. Here we go. Yeah, we're here to help you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why nobody in that college is suspected. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's so weird. You got the frat boys, you got whoever it was running in the background. The cops obviously look suspicious because you got all those body cams. You know, the one where they went and they knocked on the door for the noise complaint when he took the photo of her ID. How weird is that? What would prompt you to do that? Like,
I'm here to help you.
Yeah, we're here to help you. Right. So it's just weird to me, okay? Because like I know Judy, as far as people in chat right now, Judy has been skeptical of Bryan Kohberger. Judy's right on, if this plea is right. Judy has been on the whole time. I got to give you credit, Judy. You've always had your moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure? Because why would this be like this? And I'm like, well, this, because I'm trying to think outside the box and I'm trying to be like, not all one way or the other. But it is very interesting that Judy is our head detective here. Judy, nice job.
Yeah.
But she is a mod, so she is here for like almost every. Well, I don't think she's missed. I think she missed one time that we've ever been on. But Judy is. Shout out to you, Judy. You are an amazing mod and an amazing friend of mine, and I'm so glad that you are with us. There she is. Yeah, Judy, we love you. But yeah, you knew all along. So you guys, if we do true crime, when we do true crime again, when we get an interesting enough case, I'd say stick with Judy's logic because she's been right on and she's been watching us for 2.5 years where we were like, I don't think so. And with all due respect, she's like, I think so. You know what I mean? Like she's like,
there's always a possibility he could have done it, right? Like me personally, I was always on the fence. Like I wanted to like do, the American way, think he was innocent before he was proven guilty kind of shit. And like the way the evidence was, like some of the evidence was going, it was very like, up and down. I don't know if, like when I say that, I wasn't like believing other YouTubers and what they were saying. It was just like there was things around this case that could have, been someone else. If that makes sense. I don't know. But
it does make sense because there's like, like how when we were just talking before we started and I was like, you know what, I don't believe it until he says like this happened like this and that happened like that, because there's so many parts of this case that like, okay, the murder weapon is a knife. That's what they're stating. Allegedly, the murder weapon is a K-bar knife. It's a Marine style knife. That could or could not be true. The only reason they're picking a K-bar knife is because they located a K-bar knife. Do you know what I mean? So it could have been anything. They're saying there's punctures, not stabs. They're saying now that Kaylee was gagged. They're saying Xana was killed first in the hallway, and she struggled so hard that her fingers were severed trying to keep him from going in that bedroom where Ethan was. And if you ask me, when I heard all that, in my mind, everything was like, wait a minute. Somebody was after Ethan, because why was he trying to get in that bedroom? Like, was he trying to find Kaylee or Maddie, or did he know Ethan was in there? Because Xana was so dead set on not letting him get to Ethan. Ethan was asleep. He was stabbed in the buttocks all the way down to his ankles or something like that. Like, you lose a lot of blood really fast like that. And a woman standing in his way had no effect on him. He's just cutting right through her fingers. I apologize for being graphic, but that is what happened. And then moved upstairs, or no, started up. That's what I don't get. Oh, Bryan. Bob. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I guess that's what he's doing, right? It's a little disturbing that like so many people are saying that, the people that want the details are it's like disturbing to them. But like, as far as myself personally, I just want the details so the story adds up. Like, the murder weapon doesn't make sense because you've never found it. Okay, just because there was a K-bar knife sheath with Bryan Kohberger's touch DNA on it. I mean, I feel like he's either really guilty or he's really backed into a corner where he can't make sense of how they have that kind of evidence because it doesn't fit. So there's no explanation around the story. Does that make sense, Bob? Or anybody in chat?
I mean, kind of. I was going to say, let's go back to when like the news and the headlines right before he pled guilty it was the DoorDash driver lady. There was something else too. And oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, there was a interview with Steve Goncalves.
Goncalves.
And
it's hard to say it.
No, I know how to say it. I'm being I'm being weird.
Oh.
Okay. It's part of,
Okay, weird Bob.
part of my thing. Okay. But he said, I think it was on, I don't know. It was probably on
News Nation.
Ashley Banfield or something. Yeah. He said that they were going to go with a dead veteran story.
Yep.
Remember that?
I do.
Did you hear that?
I do. And I also remember Steve, I think I know what you're talking about. He said that if he would have had more details, he would have helped that veteran. They would have this, they would have that, we would have helped that veteran, or whatever he said. And I was like, wait a minute.
He said they were going to go with this. He said they were going to use the story of a veteran for like the alternate suspect. So, which would have been the other BK, right?
Right. And the other thing about that is, they lived in the same building, right? So
I think it was close. I'm not sure if it was.
Oh, okay. I thought they lived in the same building, because I was going to say about the touch DNA, the fact that, they could have touched the same railing, touched the same mailbox, touched the same whatever lobby door.
This is where I go with it, and I think we went there with this. In a way, we didn't I thought about that study he did, asking like criminals how they felt, and he basically wanted to Uber them to a crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that maybe in some way, like him and that other guy, I won't say his name, rode together. You know what I mean? I don't know. They could have been together to commit this murder. I don't know, but
yeah, the other thing that I was considering is the fact that Bryan could have been the driver, and there's nobody else to convict. And in some states, you can actually, I'll just tell you something I know from personal. I knew somebody who was incarcerated, and the person that took pictures like during visitation, he explained to me one time that he was in there because he was in a car during a drive-by shooting, and the driver was shot. So because he was in the car and present, and they proved he was in the car, he was serving the life sentence, because the guy who died couldn't serve the life sentence. And in that state, when you are an accessory, you're going to get the same sentence no matter what. So it's the same as pleading guilty, even if this guy didn't even pull the trigger. You know what I mean? So if Bryan drove, it could be a thing that you're an accomplice, and an accomplice receives the same sentence in, I believe, 36 states or something like that, which is insane. But I guess if he didn't drive him, if he was the driver, it does make sense though, because if he was the driver and the person who went in and committed these murders would not have been able to get there without him, then I guess that's pretty evident that he also caused these murders, because without his driving or whatever. But I just felt that the car evidence was not that much. All that hours and hours of watching the food truck, remember when we did that? And all the hours of listening to audio from like a football field away, I just thought, you guys, just tell me in chat, okay? If you have a apartment building next to another apartment building, and there's 400 people in these apartment buildings, and you hear something a football field away, how could you specify where that's coming from? That's why we didn't waste a lot of time on the Linda Lane footage, because there could have been a party above that camera. It could have been outside the front door, and it's 2 levels up that you're hearing some kind of scuffle, or some kind of frat boys goofing off, or some kind of,
it was all just
fighting.
Yeah, it was too much to try to go through. There's going to be victim impact statements made today in court too. So that's going to be
here's a question.
Right?
Yeah. Judy is asking, Bob and I believe, have a different answer for this. Do you think he was Papa Roger?
Are you asking me? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you go first.
I think. Obviously, I don't know right down to the details. If they went in and checked when this thing was made. Obviously, it was made before they caught him. So there's a very very high. In my
It
eye,
is.
I think it could have been.
I guess you do have a point, because Bryan, listen, you guys, this is crazy that you asked this, Judy. Bryan Kohberger allegedly is pleading guilty. He's allegedly admitting guilt. He's saying guilty. His plea says it anyway. Okay. So isn't it interesting that all the things that I blocked away, like when they said he was like, am I the only one you arrested? Like apparently like Ted Bundy said, about leaving something like a signature after he leaves the crime, the knife sheath, the social media cryptic type messages trying to help out. Like, how many serial killers did this guy copy? That's what I'm wondering.
At least 3.
Bob says at least 3. He's handing me this pre-roll and coming right back, you guys. But yeah, how many serial killers can you guys think of in chat that Bryan Kohberger actually, I guess you'd call it a copycat, right?
Well, Ted Bundy for one.
Ted Bundy, right when he got arrested.
Well, and not only that, he's from Washington. He killed college students. Let's say
In their sleep.
Yep.
Right, like Ted Bundy.
There was that incel kid that they
Oh, the one whose dad was in
I don't know.
the Hunger Games kid who wrote the manifesto
Maybe.
about girls that didn't like him.
Yeah, he was like sitting in his car.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Yeah, the
And BTK.
Buying torture killer. Yep.
Like they're both like, yeah, you guys are both on this. Okay.
Yeah, because like apparently he sat down after he cut Ethan up, right? And like the bed.
That's what they said. Allegedly, Bryan Kohberger sat down and like reflected on what he did, or possibly just sat down and just caught his breath or something, took off his clothing.
Yeah. And that, like, yeah, that's the other thing. Did he have a kill kit set up? Because that I get apparently that's a new thing. There's gangsters, and you know, I say gangsters like I'm talking about, you know, the 50s gangsters. They drive around with kill kits in their car to take care of problems.
Right, so it's
now,
untraceable.
That's like a new thing now or something, which I've heard, which I'm not a killer, so I don't drive around with one.
Well, it makes sense though, because you could have a kill kit and it'll be in the location you need it to be in, and then you leave without the kill kit, or you bury it or whatever, and it's never in your car. There's never any blood or any DNA or anything. And there was talk of like a vacuum, right?
Yeah. So he had a vacuum. I think I read that on Vice though, like, but you know, the news
channel, yeah.
Vice. They had that where there's like gang members like hiding kill kits, you know, just because they know they're gonna have a problem with other gang members and shit. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. So yeah, so we got BTK, we got Ted Bundy, we got that kid. Who is that kid whose dad was in the Hunger Games guy? Not he like directed it.
Let's Google it.
I'm going to, let's Google it, guys. So kid who was an incel whose dad Hunger Games. See, you guys, if you want to save yourself some typing, just use Elliot Rogers, his name. See, that's crazy, guys. What I typed into Google is kid who was an incel whose dad Hunger Games, because I don't know what his dad did in Hunger Games. He was like the director or something like that. But yeah, he definitely was an incel. Like, admittedly an incel. Listen, guys, I'll never, just for the record, I will never call a man an incel unless he calls himself an incel. And that kid was a admitted incel. He said the pretty girls didn't want him and all those things. But I cannot say that Bryan is an incel, because there is proof that he was at least on one date while he was in town. Didn't go well, apparently, allegedly, but I don't know. I'm curious as to what was our last Bryan Kohberger video that we put out that wasn't alive. Let's see. I'm just curious because I want to know the last thing that stood out to us about Bryan Kohberger. So we have...
We played it during our live.
We have the 911 call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to... Do you guys want to revisit that real quick? We have about 20 minutes, and it is... Judy agrees. Thank you.
I was going to clip of
It's about 4 minutes. What were you gonna play?
Elliot Rodger clip.
Okay, play an Elliot Rodger clip. But then we'll listen to the 911 call, and then the court will probably start. So hopefully,
Hang on 1 second.
no problem.
Okay. Sorry.
If you have not pressed the like button, please press the like button.
Is it
And
on
if you
screen?
need to come back, yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay.
Would still discover more. Those 3 bodies found in the alleged shooter's apartment, and that's not all they found. ABC's Clayton Sandell tonight with more on that manifesto as investigators try to peer into the mind of the killer. Clayton?
Good evening, David. Tonight you can see this small memorial, some candles and flowers for the 3 men that police say Elliot Rodger killed inside his apartment complex here. But like so many things about this case, the victims were discovered only after this violent rampage ended. Tonight, so many clues in hindsight, puzzle pieces put together too late.
Elliot Rodger here.
Elliot Rodger left disturbing hints, starting with those chilling YouTube videos.
I'll be a god, exacting my retribution.
That is creepy.
All those who deserve it.
And this
I know
140
he's super calm about it, right?
detailing the troubled life of an alleged killer, from childhood bullying, sibling rivalry.
So, don't you think Bryan Kohberger would have had a bunch of shit written down? He seems like a.
I feel like he would have something to say. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not justice if you can walk into a house and you can murder 4 people and you don't have to say anything. Just, I'm not saying, like, I don't know what I even want him to say. You know what I mean? I just really wish he would say something. So much more will be known when they unseal the documents. The gag order only let people talk. Documents will have the evidence. I think we'll all be surprised. That's the thing, though. Like, this case has gotten so much attention. Like, it is. Yeah, look at that. He looks like, actually, the 2 things that they also have in common is that they're both very smart. Like the way that he spoke about things.
Yeah.
He spoke very eloquently. He spoke very socially awkward in the way that, like, extra intelligent. You know what I mean? More vast vocabulary used than like somebody young like that. But his father, I believe, was the writer of Hunger Games, so he's probably a good writer as well.
Right. That's probably why he had the manifesto.
Right. That's how he knew to call it a manifesto.
Manifesto is a restaurant, I think. Is it?
Manifesto would be like my wrestling manager name. If I was a wrestling manager.
It's Manifesto, Miss Manifesto.
Yeah. So how many of you think this is going to go away after today, that Bryan Kohberger, the case is just going to, you know? Like,
I don't think so. I think a lot more is going to come out. At least this is what I'm hoping.
Okay.
I hope a lot more things come out. I hope maybe today he does talk. I don't know. It'd be crazy if he did. I doubt he's going to. If he does, he's going to say yes or no, right?
Right. He'll say, "Do you have anything to say?" And Bryan will say no.
Yep.
All right. So I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
saying
good.
something?
No.
Okay. So you guys, before we get into the sentencing, which starts in 15 minutes, grab something to drink, sit down, get comfortable. We will be in the chat. We will be talking as well. We're not going to interrupt anything, but this is going to be very interactive, you guys. I just want to play this 911 call real quick. If that's okay.
Hang on. I think it's live right now.
Is it?
Something's going on.
Okay, check it out. Now shut up.
Is this from? Wait, hold up.
Oh, man.
What's going on?
I have no idea what you're looking at, but it's pretty funny. You look like that one kid that like murdered that girl in the woods, and he's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" He starts looking around the room. What's happening?
Oops.
No. The link is in the private chat.
Can you see it?
If I do it, it's gonna hold on.
Hold on, I got it.
Yeah,
I
I
got
can
it.
see it. Okay.
It is live. I don't. If they're just showing like a picture though from the
Okay.
court.
I
Hang on.
can't see it.
I'll put it up there. It tripped me out because it looks like they're in court right now. They're not. I don't.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, they're just being like, wow, they had a thumbnail.
That's what I'm saying.
They got a thumbnail, guys. Wow. That's high tech for them. So let's check this out and interrupt it, Bob, if it comes on live. Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna share my screen.
You can. I was just showing the thumbnail. That's what it looks like.
All right, you guys. I want you to react to this 911 call quick before we get started in the chat. We'll react with you. Is it on?
Yep.
All righty.
Wonderful.
Make it full screen though.
True crime series.
a.m. 42 seconds, November 13, 2022. Can I know the location of your emergency? Something is happening. Something happened in my house. I don't know what. What is the address of the emergency? What is the rest of the address? Oh, please, loud. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address, 1122 King Road. And what's the phone number that you're calling from? 3731. Tell me exactly what's going on. One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Okay. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah, you just. Hi, and are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much? What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now? I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out? Yeah, I'll come. Come on, listen, we gotta go check. No, we have to. She's not waking up. Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, and how old is she? She's 20. 20, you said? Yeah, 20 years old. Hello? Hello? Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people. Wait, sorry, they just gave me the phone. Is she breathing? Hello? Is she breathing? No. Okay. That's me. So I need you to talk to them. Say, I can't talk to him. He's begging you to talk to him. Hello. Okay. I have already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. Say that again. There's a police here right now. Okay. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. You don't have it. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one. Are you talking to the officer? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let you go since she's there with you and can help you. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay.
11:59 a.m. 49 seconds, November 13, 2022.
After being
Whoops, I was on mute. I was saying, shout out to you guys if you watch commercials. I'm letting that commercial play on my end because that's how we get paid. So shout out to you guys who are supporting us through that avenue. Also, shout out to you if you are a paid member. I see that Cyborg Mama has been a member for 17 months. Whew. Thank you so much, Cyborg. Cyborg, if you don't know, does have a channel as well. And she has been our mod, I believe, for 17 months as well.
That's a half a year, right? A year and a half, I mean.
Yeah, a year and a half, almost.
Wow.
She does have her own channel. She does have a lot of our merch. You can see our merch on her channel too. She has a really cool video where she does I can't think of what that coffee thing is that you have, Cyborg, but she goes up to her coffee maker machine-y thing and she's got
you can't think of an espresso maker? Italian lady?
Like she's like a barista. Like she's got like a barista setup like that. And like she has the coffee cup that has the raccoon on one side and the clown on the other side. And I think she's like, which one do I want today? You know what I mean? So espresso machine, that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. So if you guys haven't checked out Cyborg Mama, check her out. She's badass. She goes camping in the desert. She does all kinds of neat stuff and she's got all kinds of cool content. She has been a supporter of us for a very, very long time. Yep, Judy said she's a very good friend to y'all. Yes, you are, Cyborg. You are family to us. So are you, Judy, and Dill, and all of our mods that are helping us out, Virginia. Everybody who's ever come to our channel is family to us. But Cyborg, Judy, Dill, Virginia, Glowy, all of you, we love you. There's your raccoon hug. We love you guys so much. But dang, I got distracted. I was talking about something. Oh yeah, shout out to you guys for supporting us because we very much appreciate it. We don't do this for money. We don't really make a lot of money. We haven't made money in months actually. So if you are interested, we do have memberships starting at $2.99. And you can find that right on the channel page. And then at the bottom of the screen, you can see our Venmo, Snapchat, Cash App. For that's Bob's Cash App. Bob has the Cash App. I got the Venmo, and EC's got a Cash App as well. So if you want to support us in that way, I don't believe Cash App or Venmo take anything, but YouTube does take about 40% off any kind of super thanks or super chat or membership. So a big trip coming up. If you feel like donating something to the Cash App, the Venmo, whatever, feel free. We're not going to stop you, but that's not what we're here for. But if you're interested, there's the information. Looks like we have about 5 more minutes. So any predictions about what's going to happen? And right there, Dill has put in the chat, Cyborg Mama's YouTube, if you want to click on that real quick, go hit subscribe and come on back. That would be great. Cyborg would appreciate it. We would appreciate it. She's a great person. We love you so much. We hope you're feeling good. Also, I forgot to mention, I think it might be members only, but Cyborg did send a box, and we did an unboxing video for that. And it is a very, very beautiful video. I believe it's called Unboxing. I can look. But you have to be a member to see that. So also, oh yeah, I wanted to mention real quick, if you are a paid member of Strange Suspicion, yesterday I posted a very random short, and that was for members only. I'm going to start doing random little videos for members each and every day. So if you are a paid member, make sure that you check the notification for all so that you can get, I'll also post it in members only on the community tab. For those of you who don't know, we try to keep really active on our page. So pay attention to the community stuff on the posts on our YouTube page, and you can be a bigger part of our content and see stuff that's coming up and see new merch and all that cool stuff. And make content suggestions, please. And Virginia Wolf also put this information in the chat. If you'd like to send a present or a postcard or a handwritten letter, those are amazing. I love those. Dill said he's going to send us a package with some trinkets, I believe he said, and a letter. So look forward to that. And if you need that information, it's right there. So there you go. Looks like we have 3 minutes, right? Is there anything on that screen, Bob?
Not yet.
Oh, Bob, I think you hit the wrong button there. But while we're here, how about everybody give a big old thumbs up on this video for Strange Suspicion, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Do it. I dare you.
I dare you too. Shout out to Precious Juggalos. If you like art, please make sure to go check out Precious Juggalos. It's pretty much like Bob Ross painting things into juggalos and juggalettes.
Figurines.
Figurines.
Little figurines.
Oh yeah, he uses Precious Moments figurines. Sorry.
Most of the time. He also does other things too. He did a Care Bear. He did a I think.
What do you do for Ouija Mac? I forgot. A cross?
Yeah, it was like a
Man.
It was like it was something like that. And then he also does he did a California raisins with Juggalo paint. He did.
He does the little Buddhas.
He did the Urkel way back.
Let me see if I can pull up his Instagram.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of ours, and his streams are very relaxing. You can catch him every single day online for, I believe it's for about an hour. I'll just show you guys real quick. We just a quick second here, but that's okay. It's all right. I don't mind showing his stuff. So here's some of the things. Can you see that okay? Bob? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Thank you. So these are some of the things that he has done. Just scroll through, and if you're going to the gathering, this is his flag here. See? So he just takes whatever people order. He also takes Fago breaks. He always tries to get you to guess what it's going to be. So I don't know. Lots of cool different things, and he just sits and does his art and has good conversation. So if you're into relaxing streams with good company, and some of the people that you'll see in our chat are in there as well. Ouija got a crucifix with all the set. That's right. Yeah. Because he was like, oh, wow, he got all the tattoos on it. He was very, very excited. Hello, Commander Los. Good to have you here. I have not seen your name before, but it is pretty cool. If you do have a channel, and I haven't mentioned it, I believe Virginia Wolf, you also have a channel, correct? So there are a lot of people in here with channels. Dillhole has a channel. He's our mod. He'll be in and out of here. He can hear me right now, but he's probably working on a car. So if one of our mods wants to put up Dill's link, that would be great. Dill does he pranks scammer call people, right?
Dill does do that.
And fireworks.
Dill does do that.
Dill does a lot of stuff. And I just want to say shout out to Dillhole, because he probably heard me shout out all those people and then I kind of skipped over him. Dillhole is amazing. I just want to tell you guys he has a big, big heart. I recorded it, but I forgot to get it ready. I might do it in a little bit if you guys want. He called just to tell us that he loves us and he's saying to us. It was so sweet. And I was like, I recorded that because I cannot believe it. We were like driving down a dirt road. It was actually, if you look at the members only video where we're driving down the dirt road, you can see that that dirt road we were on, Dill, when you sang that to us.
We was on the dirt road, Dill.
Yeah, you were on the dirt road. Please click on Dillhole's channel right there and subscribe to Dill. He will make you laugh if you like fireworks, if you like
I started watching his scam baiting call. I think he released like yesterday, and I had to stop because I was doing stuff, but it was funny. It was funny right off the rip. He wasn't holding back. He was calling them and like basically harassing them because they harass him all the time. I think that was something, almost the title.
Right. And he's hilarious. So if you like that kind of stuff, you guys go to Dillhole's channel and go to Dr. Fell's channel.
Yes.
It's not Dr. Phil, but Dr. Fell, like Fell.
I thought it was
those
Dr.
guys.
Phil.
Those guys are great. I actually have a banner I'm going to put up for, since we're going to be like watching this for quite some time when it starts. My channel shout outs are at the bottom of the screen. So shout out to, they're still not starting, huh? Humble Among, Acetone Boogie, Dillhole, Pyro Juggalos, Sad Tapper, Dr. Fell, Back Alley Scam Chats, Killer Collections, Don Chaos, Alcatraz 187, Psychopathic Records, Team MUJ, The Backseat Boys, Spoken Realness, Scammy Levator, Rock Chalk True Crime, Cyborg Mama, Flashcat, Apollon, and SPO Podcast, which is where you will find Tommy Grayson, JP Grayson, Johnny Cashmere, and a few other dudes talk about SPO wrestling. And shout out to Tommy Grayson, wherever he is. I know he got his stitches off yesterday. And he'll tell you guys about it later, but he got his stitches out. And that's very good news. Yeah, he is hilarious. Dillhole is absolutely hilarious. And so is the Idaho court for not being ready right now. I'm going to refresh it just in case I'm missing something.
Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah, first it was at 10:30. Come and shut up. Here we go, guys.
Thank you.
He's got an orange on.
Need 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Wow. Okay, look at him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew they were gonna do that.
He was oranged up though.
He was oranged up. He is going back to his boyfriend.
Oh, he's by himself.
This is crazy. That was crazy. He looked very uneasy. Maybe he just all of a sudden had to go to the bathroom. I didn't see who was there. Oh man, I'm gonna look real quick. See if I can go back. Who was sitting behind him? Dang it, I can't go back.
I don't know.
Dang, did anybody see? That's right, Virginia. If nothing strange happens during this, I will also be surprised. It makes no sense.
I hope I have enough time to edit today. Holy smokes, this better not be forever.
It's okay. I have a list of links and stuff. Again, for those of you that don't know, we will also be live at 7 p.m. Eastern, the GCW JCW debate. where you guys decide who has the better argument, Humble Among or Koske, between JCW and GCW, with special guest Tommy Grayson. So please make sure that you come so that we have a chat to vote, okay? And spread the link around to anybody who you know that likes any kind of wrestling, because it will be very, very fun. It'll be very lighthearted. It's not going to be anything offensive or anything like
It's
that.
not going to be hardcore. We're not going to be like setting up a fighting match of the, you know what I mean? It's all good. We're not going to talk shit about each other. It's all
Well, and just a disclaimer, Koske and Humble are best friends, so
yeah,
they're not going to cross any lines with each other, but they might goof around a little bit. No harm there. They both, and actually they both do like, oh, I'm shutting up. Watch.
All right, this is CR01243165, State of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger. Defendant is present. The state is represented.
Is that Idaho or you?
Mr. Hurwitz.
Not
this
me.
is the time set for sentencing in this case.
Come on.
Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, the lady's moving in the back over there.
The party stipulated to on each of the 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Are you kidding me right now?
The party submitted a sentencing memorandum or other materials for the court.
Should I refresh it or something to see if it's us?
Just because why
It's definitely us.
Sentence.
He's chewing gum.
It's definitely us. Everybody else is playing smoothly. It's our shit.
Okay, I will refresh it right now.
Statements and arguments.
Your Honor, the state does not intend to present evidence in a documentary sense. We have provided the court through the clerk with photographs that we would like to use during the course of our sentencing argument.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
But no testimony other than impact statements.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So with that, let's start with then impact statements.
Ms. Jennings will be introducing
And my understanding, just so I'm clear, I indicated through the trial court administrator that we need to see if any of the victims wish to have the camera not running and audio only. And my understanding is all of them indicated they are fine with the video. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, very well. Go ahead, Ms. Jennings.
Your Honor, the first, and we're taking these in the order, victim impact statements in the order that the charges were listed in the indictment. The first charge being burglary. So we will have Bethany Funka's statement, and she has asked that her friend Emily Allant read that statement.
All right, any objection to that? All right, very well.
She said Funku. Did you hear that? That was weird.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be speaking on behalf of Bethany, and so, yeah, here it reads. My name is Bethany Funk, and I was roommates with Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I not only lost some of my best friends, but I also lost a sister. Never in a million.
Are you serious?
And to my closest friends. I thought that we were going to wake up and go upstairs, see them and tell them how they had scared us and that they were going to tease us about how we are constantly scaredy cats. I make jokes about it as we would go to Taco Bell like always. But sadly, that is not what happened and what turned out to be my worst nightmare. When I first woke up that morning, I had no idea what happened. I woke up around 7 with a terrible toothache, so I called my dad, who is a dentist, and he asked what I should do. He told me to take Advil, so I did, and I went back to sleep. I was still out of it and still didn't know what happened. If I had known, I of course would have called 911 right away. I still carry so much regret and guilt for not knowing what had happened and not calling right away, even though I understand it wouldn't have changed anything, not even if the paramedics had been right outside the door. I was so frantic that morning and scared to death, not knowing what had happened. And when I made the 911 call, I couldn't even get out the words. And from then on, I don't remember a thing. It was like my brain wiped that whole memory. That was the worst day of my life. And I know it always will be. While I was still in shock, trying to process the fact that my friends were truly gone, I had been attacked by the public. I was grieving, numb, and unsure of what had happened was even real. And at the same time, I was getting flooded with death threats and hateful messages from people who did not know me at all or know the dynamic of our friendship. Social media made it so much worse, and strangers made up stories to entertain themselves. The media harassed not just me, but also my family. People showed up at our house. They called my phone, my parents' phones, other family members' phones, and we were chased while I was still trying to survive emotionally and grieve the loss of my friends. I hated and still hate that they are gone, but for some reason, I am still here and I got to live. I still think about this every day. Why me? Why did I get to live and not them? For the longest time, I could not even look at their families without feeling sick with guilt. I did not know what to say or what to do. I was terrified that my presence just made their pain worse, and I was still here when their kid, their siblings and their friends, their loved ones should have been here instead. After everything happened, I was afraid to go into my own backyard or alone in my house. I was scared that the person who did this would come for me next. I was always scared that the media would try to catch me at any moment of any day, even when I was just walking around my house. I made my parents close all the blinds during the day so no one could see me even in the slightest chance. I barely left the house, and when I did, I made sure I was never alone. I slept in my parents' room for almost a year. I made them double lock every door, set an alarm, and still check everywhere in the room just in case someone was hiding. And I still check my room every night before, and I double lock it. I have not slept through a single night since this happened. I constantly wake up in panics, terrified. Someone is breaking in, or someone is here to hurt me, or I'm about to lose someone else that I love. The fear never really leaves. For a long time, I could barely get out of bed, but one day I realized I have to live for them. They did not get the chance to keep living, but I do, and I will not take that for granted. So now every day I remind myself to live for them, and everything I do it with them in mind. I am still scared to go out in public, but I force myself to do things because I know that they would want me to keep living my life to the fullest. I am beyond blessed to still be here, and I refuse to take that for granted when they did not get a chance. Our house was not just a house, it was a home. It was where we laughed till we couldn't breathe, make meals, did crafts, binge watch reality shows, played games, and spent lazy days on the couch. It was movie nights, wine nights, morning debriefs, pranks, hot chocolate, cookies, and warmth. I would cherish those memories forever, and I will not let what happened erase how special our home was or how much those memories meant to me. Now I would like to share some bits and pieces of who they were as people and some of the memories that we shared. One of my favorite memories was Halloween, and we all went to Sigma Chi. But instead of partying, we just sat in an apartment, talking and laughing all night long. I do not think I've ever laughed that hard in my life. We did not care about the party, we were just happy to be with each other. Xana was 1 in a million. She was the life of the party. But she was also the kindest and funniest person I knew. Everyone loved her because she made everyone feel so loved. She was just someone you always wanted to be around, no matter the circumstance. One of my favorite days with Xana was when she laid on the couch, when we laid on the couch together all day watching movies and snacking. Or when she, Maddie, and I would go and get margaritas, chips, and salsa. She would also light up a room with her presence alone.
Hello, Carney. You're on the song.
Kaylee had the most beautiful, radiant smile. And she was so kind,
One of them.
but also one of the funniest people I've ever known. She loved playing little pranks. And she always had us laughing so hard that we could not breathe. She was so full of energy and life. I really believe that she could have ruled the world if she wanted to, and she would have been America's sweetheart. Ethan was the sweetest, most genuine guy. He was always smiling and always making other people smile too. Ethan was the kind of person you wanted around. He was so kind and easy to talk to, and just so fun. And the way he cared for Xana was truly something to admire. And really was proof that storybook love and true romances really do exist. It was not only obvious to me, but everyone that was around Ethan and Xana that they were absolute soulmates. Maddie was not only one of my best friends, but she was the older sister I would have always wanted. There was no one I looked up to or admired more than Maddie. She was truly a ray of sunshine, and everyone was drawn to her. She was so kind, loving, funny, fun, and passionate. She had the sweetest soul and wanted nothing but the best for everyone, and to love and show love to everyone. She took me under her wing and always made me feel so safe and included, and above all, loved and valued. She never failed to make me laugh or put a smile on my face. Still to this day, I am beyond grateful that she chose me to be her sorority little, and I thank God every day that I not only got to know her, but had her as one of my best friends. Honestly, I cannot pinpoint one favorite memory with Maddie because I have so many, and this would be a very long read if I did. But if some little memories with her that I cherish is when the two of us made a nice dinner and split some wine, or when we would binge watch Jersey Shore or Summer House. When we came up with a whole dance routine on Halloween and danced and sang all night, like no one was watching. All the late night walks home from going out, and just little shopping trips and so much more. I am beyond blessed that I had the chance to know each and every one of them. They changed my life in ways I would have never put into words. I hope that they are remembered for who they are, not what happened to them, because who they are were so beautiful, and they deserve to be remembered in the highest way. My heart breaks every time I go to text one of them or how badly I wish I could see and hang out with them. And then I remember I cannot. I will never be able to again. But I still talk to them in my prayers every single night, and I always will. I wish more than anything I could hug them one last time. And I wish I could tell them how much I love them. And even though I cannot, I still tell them every night. I will keep living for them as long as I am lucky enough to still be here. And they were all truly one of a kind, and they will be in our hearts forever and always.
Thank you. And please convey to Bethany my appreciation for her courage, and I hope that she heals.
Next is Dylan Mortensen. We're asking for some accommodations for Ms. Mortensen and that she be allowed to sit in my seat.
Sure. Dylan, just take your time, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor. What happened that night changed everything. Because of him, 4 beautiful, genuine, compassionate people were taken from this world for no reason. He didn't just take their lives. He took the light they carried into every room. He took away how they made everyone feel safe, loved, and full of joy. He took away the ability for me to tell them that I love them and that I'm so proud of them. He took away who they were becoming and the futures they were going to have. He took away birthdays, graduations, celebrations, and all the memories that we were supposed to make. All of it is gone. And all the people who loved them are just left to carry that weight forever. He didn't just take them from the world. He took them from me, my friends, my people who felt like my home, the people I looked up to and adored more than anyone. He took away my ability to trust the world around me. What he did shattered me in places I didn't know could break. I was barely 19 when he did this. We had just celebrated my birthday at the end of September. I should have been figuring out who I was. I should have been having the college experience and starting to establish my future. Instead, I was forced to learn how to survive the unimaginable. I couldn't be alone. I had to sleep in my mom's bed because I was too terrified to close my eyes. Terrified that if I blinked, someone might be there. I made escape plans everywhere I went. If something happens, how do I get out? What can I use to defend myself? Who can help? And then there are the panic attacks. The kind that slam into me like a tsunami out of nowhere. I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking. All I can do is scream because the emotional pain and the grief is too much to handle. My chest feels like it's caving in. Sometimes I drop to the floor with my heart racing, convinced something is very wrong. It's far beyond anxiety. It's my body reliving everything over and over again. My nervous system never got the message that it is over, and it won't let me forget what he did to them. People call me strong. They say I'm a survivor, but they don't see what my new reality looks like. They don't see the panic attacks, the hypervigilance, the exhaustion, the way I scan every room I enter, the way I flinch at sudden sounds. They don't know how heavy it is to carry so much pain and still be expected to keep going, and that's because of him. He stole parts of me I may never get back. He took the version of me who didn't constantly ask, what if it happens again? What if next time I don't survive? He may have shattered parts of me, but I'm still putting myself back together. Piece by piece, I'm learning how to live in this new version of life. It is not easy. It hurts, but I'm still trying. And I'm not trying just for me. I'm trying for them, my friends. About a year ago, I had a dream about them. I got to say goodbye. I told them I won't be able to see you again, so I need to tell you goodbye. They all kept asking why, and all I could say was, I can't tell you, but I have to. When I woke up, I felt shattered and heartbroken, but also strangely grateful. Like maybe in some way that dream gave us the goodbye we never got. Still, no dream can replace them, and no goodbye will ever feel finished. He is a hollow vessel, something less than human. A body without empathy, without remorse. He chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing. He tried to take everything from me. My friends, my safety, my identity, my future. He took their lives, but I will continue trying to be like them, to make them proud. Living is how I honor them. Speaking today is to help me find some sort of justice for them. And I will never let him take that from me. He may have taken so much from me, but he will never get to take my voice. He will never take the memories I had with them. He will never erase the love we shared, the laughs we had, or the way they made me feel seen and whole. Those things are mine. They are sacred, and he will never touch them. I get to feel sadness. I get to feel rage. I get to feel joy even when it's hard. I get to feel love even when it hurts. I get to live. And while I will still live with this pain, at least I get to live my life. He will stay here, empty, forgotten, and powerless.
Dylan, thank you so much for your courage. I appreciate it.
Next, we have members from the Madison Mogan family. First would be Scott Laramie, Madison Mogan's stepfather. Standing by him is Karen Laramie, Madison's mother.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Scott Laramie. I'm Maddie Mogan's stepfather and the husband of Maddie's mother, Karen Laramie. I will read this victim impact statement on behalf of Karen and myself. Maddie was our gift of life, our purpose, and our hope. Maddie quickly became Karen's joy, identity, and purpose in life. I joined Maddie's life when she was 2.5 years old. The experience transformed me into a life of joy, love, and family. Maddie was bright, beautiful, kind, empathic. She listened carefully to others and was observant, seeing and caring about the hearts and the minds of all she encountered. She loved music and music festivals. She had a wonderful sense of humor. She excelled in school. She was an easy child to raise, almost never requiring discipline, and almost always giving us parental joy. One time Karen remembers disciplining Maddie as a little girl. Maddie responded, "You broke my heart," which of course melted ours. She had a keen wit, even at that young age. As she transitioned into teenage years, she prioritized us and extended family over many of the distractions that capture teenagers. She showered us with her presence and love at family events, barbecues, picnics, birthdays, holidays, and others. She spent countless hours with her papa, her uncle David, Aunt Nadine, and her other close family and friends. This world was a better place with her in it. As she reached adulthood, Maddie applied her studies to be a marketing professional, entering into an internship at Payne West, and started planning her professional future. As with all things, she involved Karen and myself in the joy of her journey. As she transitioned into womanhood, Karen and I continued to be astounded at this wonderful and accomplished person we had created. All parents dream of their children accomplishing more than them. We realized this dream, all we had not become, she was becoming. Karen and I are ordinary people, but we lived extraordinary lives because we had Maddie. Maddie was taken senselessly and brutally in a sudden act of evil. She was taken along with the young, promising, and bright lives of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. First, we felt disbelief. Next, we felt disorientation. Then we felt grief overcome us. Our grief is compounded even more for the Goncalves, Kernodle, and Chapin families. We speak of hope and healing, and we do have hope and some healing. But the vast emotional wound will never fully heal. Since Maddie's loss, there's emptiness in our hearts, home, and family, an endless void. After losing her mother in a car crash, Karen took years to grieve and recover. The feeling that her life with Maddie and A was perfect helped her to start to heal. Now, this is no longer perfect. After Maddie's loss, Karen felt like she was spinning out, emotionally collapsing into anxiety and depression. She sometimes asks, how am I supposed to go on when I've lost my favorite person in the world? I felt the same, and we continue to struggle. The loss of Maddie has impacted so many beyond our family. Her second family is her sorority sisters who grieve alongside us. She has so many close friends who suffer from her loss. We will continue to be her loss will continue to be felt by the Vandal community, including Vandal Solutions on campus, where she volunteered her time for others. It helps us to know Maddie is in heaven now, freed from the trials of this earth. We, however, continue to live on without the grace and support of her presence. We will grow old without our only child, our bright, beautiful friend and daughter. In the end, there are no words that can accurately capture the devastation of losing Maddie. We will endure, and we will go on. For Maddie, we will not let our grief consume us. For Maddie, we will continue to love and care for our family and friends, including the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. We will remain united with them. We can only hope that others out there suffering similar losses can look to us and see that we can overcome hatred, darkness, and evil. We know the law allows us to comment on the defendant and the sentence. As for a sentence, we support the plea agreement. Society needs to be protected against this evil. As for the defendant, we will not waste words, nor will we fall into hatred and bitterness. Evil has many faces, and we now know this, but evil does not deserve our time and attention. We are done being victims. We are taking back our lives. We will turn our time, talents, and attention to hope, healing, and helping others and to the future. We invite all those who have suffered with us on this to join us in our journey. We can make this world a better place. We can move on from tragedy. Adversity will visit us, evil will visit us, but we will overcome. We can and will endure. Karen and I express our gratitude to Your Honor and to the prosecution team for allowing us the opportunity to make this statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your courage, and I am so sorry for your loss. God bless
Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is Leander James. He's the attorney for the Mogan family and victim advocate. He'll be reading a statement for Karen Laramie.
May it please the court, counsel. My name is Leander James. I am the pro bono counsel for Karen and Scott Laramie. Karen has asked me to read this statement into the record. I thank my husband, Scott, for his statement, his courage, and his unending love and support during this dark time. While words are inadequate to capture the impact of this horrific crime on our family, he expressed it as best anyone could. For Maddie's sake, I will add my supplement statement that incorporates additional impact in the context of my extended family. I am grateful to Maddie's great uncle, Bryan Kohberger, for assisting me with the difficult task of putting our pain into words. For me and my extended family, Maddie was our hope and our light. Her beauty, both outside and in, shone its light upon everyone with whom she came in contact. Her beauty, she carried that hope and light into the future for our entire family. We have memories of our Maddie and grief and pain at her being taken from our presence. Any one of us would have given our own light to have been outshone by hers. We now look to our Creator to know that her light continues where we look to see her in His presence. Those who commit evil for their own twisted gains and purposes truly defile the efforts and sacrifices of mothers, fathers, families, teachers, clergy, public servants, service members, and all those who commit themselves to the greater good, freedoms, and the future light of our nation. Condemnation falls heavily upon those who squandered the lives of our future hopes and dreams. Some may offer forgiveness for what the defendant has done. However, we cannot at this time, or perhaps ever, nor will we ask for mercy for what he has done. His acts are too heinous. The agony and grief he has caused, too great. But we will waste no further words or thoughts on him. For Maddie's sake, we will move on. We will do our best to carry Maddie's light into this world and make it a better place. I thank the court and the prosecution for allowing me the opportunity to make my statement. And I thank all those who have and will support my family and the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Laramie. Appreciate it.
Next is Ben Mogan, the father of Maddie Mogan. Yes, of course. Actually, Your Honor, it'll be Kim Cheeley, the grandmother of Maddie Mogan.
My name is Kim Cheeley. I was Maddie Mogan's paternal grandmother, as Ben Mogan, her father, is my son. I'm here today with my sister Lori Cheeley, Maddie's great aunt, and my son Ben Mogan, and my daughter-in-law Corey Hatrock. I'd like to begin by thanking a number of people involved in bringing this case to closure. In my daughter's words, the plea deal the prosecution team reached this month is one that punishes the perpetrator of this horrendous crime, protects the public from further harm, and allows all of us who knew and loved these kids the time to grieve without the anxiety of the long and gruesome trial, the years of appeals, and potential for mistrials along the way. My family and I are so grateful to Bill Thompson and his prosecution team for their dedication and painstaking work that forced the perpetrator to admit his guilt. We want to thank the Idaho State Police, the Moscow Police Department, the FBI, and Judge Hippler. We'd also like to thank the University of Idaho officials, the victims with such dignity and kindness, and who have honored the 4 victims beautifully. Maddie was my first grandchild, so when she was born, all her grandparents had the distinct pleasure of deciding what we'd like to be called. I chose Nana, pretty original. But when Maddie was about a year and a half old, her papa, Ben's dad, and I were planning to visit the new little family in Oregon. Maddie didn't have an extensive vocabulary at the time, but for some unknown reason, she called bananas ba-deedle-deedles. When Karen and Ben told her Nana was coming to visit, she figured, I say deedle-deedle for that word. So I became deedle-deedle, shortened to Deedle when she was about 6 or 7, and I was Deedle all her life. I don't think her stepdad, Scotty, ever knew my given name was Kim. Maddie's and my birthdays were one day apart, and a couple years before she was killed, she gave me this necklace with Deedle and Maddie engraved on it, and I added an angel wing, and it's one of my treasured possessions. I also got an angel wing tattoo, never thought I'd see the day, but along with many members of our family, replicating the one that Maddie and her sorority sisters had. I wanted mine where I could see and touch it often. From preschool through grade school, I stopped teaching piano lessons early on Wednesdays and picked Maddie up for bubble baths, brownies, and books. It was our special time together. And she went home those nights in her jammies with a pan of warm brownies for her family. Although Karen and Scotty raised Maddie and did such a lovely job of parenting, we Mogans were lucky to have her for holidays and many other family gatherings. We'll always have our treasured memories of Maddie growing up in our big, extended, cooperative family. And I thank Karen and Scotty Laramie for being so generous and open and sharing Maddie with her Mogan side of the family. When the 4 kids were murdered, the foundation fell out of our world. Initially, the fear was truly debilitating. The first 6 weeks were excruciating. Despite the vigils, memorials, candlelight gatherings of students, friends, family, community members. After the arrest, in the past 2.5 years, my family has lived with grief, with the effects of traumatic grief, of which I was blissfully unaware before all of this. I now have a stack of books on grief. I've attended grief classes at hospice. I've tried EMDR, a technique that helps replace disturbing visions with something more comforting. My son, Ben, his two sisters, Maddie's aunts, and I have all experienced depression and anxiety and sleep disturbance, requiring medical intervention at times. We've all sought counseling off and on. The struggle with media attention was extremely difficult, especially for Ben. No one should live through the violent murder of one's child. Some days it's beyond me how the parents of these kids are still upright. I'm thankful for the strong families and communities that are supporting the survivors. At the time, I could think of only two blessings surrounding the horrific murders. One was that Ben was living with my partner Tom and me at the time, and that we could support each other emotionally through it all. Sadly, Tom died a year ago of a rare brain cancer, and he won't be here to see justice served. He was our family's rock, and we all miss him every day. A second blessing is that my mother died of COVID several months before the kids were killed, and she didn't have to live through the horror. It was difficult to identify blessings. So we've all lost our dear child and a future with her. I ache for the loss of the dreams that she and her true love, Jake, held. And my heart goes out to Karen and Scotty and your side of Maddie's family. You've had more than your share of loss. My heart aches for the kids' roommates and the families of the other victims, and also the family of the perpetrator. Going forward, we Mogans are choosing to put our energy and focus into honoring Maddie's too short life and sweet spirit by celebrating Maddie May Day, which my two daughters established. On May 25th each year, Maddie's birthday, we encourage folks to do random acts of kindness in Maddie's name. In my daughter Katie's words, may we all protect our peace in whatever way possible, unite in community, and focus on joy. Please do an act in kindness in Maddie's honor during this week, so a glimmer of Maddie's light may live on. Thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate your courage, and bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Now it's Ben Mogan, Maddie Mogan's father.
I'm Benjamin Mogan. I'm Maddie's dad. And first, I just want to say thanks to all the people that helped bring this all to a close. I know it's not the resolution that everyone wanted, but I think that that everyone worked so hard, and we really appreciate all their efforts. It was such a hard thing to go through for everybody. Maddie was my only child that I ever had. She's the only great thing I ever really did, and the only thing I was really ever proud of. And I thought we would have the rest of our lives together to be together and to know each other, and I took for granted the times, you know, she was in college, and I thought, oh well, we'll have the rest of our lives to just do all the stuff that we're supposed to do, and she was just about done. She actually earned all of her credits for her college degree, and Karen and Scotty and I got to go and get her diploma that she actually earned, and she deserved every bit of that. And but I thought that that was going to be just the beginning of a long life together, and we never got that. Karen and Scotty did such a great job raising her after Karen and I split up, and I'm so thankful for Scotty and the role that he played in her life when I wasn't able to. But we got to spend a lot of great times together, Maddie and I. She was my favorite person to go to a concert with. We got to see some fun shows together, and I told her, if there's ever a show that you want to go to, let me know, and I'll get you tickets for you and your friend, or if you want to go together, we'll make it happen. And my favorite memory with her was when the Mac Miller show sold out here in Spokane, and everyone wanted tickets, no one could get them, and they, on the last day before the show, they did a radio thing, and I got 4 meet and greet tickets for Maddie and her friends and me to go and see the show, and that was her favorite artist at the time, was Mac Miller, and he's gone now too. And my little cousin Zach drove us all there that night, and he's gone too, tragically. And anyway, the last thing that she ever wrote to me was this Father's Day card, and I'm so glad I still have it. I'm just going to read what she said. It says, "Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene 624 to 74. Hopefully we can find a time then. I loved your birthday card that you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots. Love, Maddie May." She did encourage me to not just to do my best, but to live on. I went through a lot of issues with addiction and with substance abuse, and when I wasn't wanting to live anymore, she was what would keep me from just not caring anymore, and knowing that she was out there and that she was just such a beautiful person kept me alive a lot of rough moments. And I'm so glad that she was able to meet Jake. He was the only one that actually ever got to take her to the gorge. They went and saw Watershed together, and yeah, they had a heck of a time. I'm glad she got to. That's a really special place for me, and she always wanted to work out there with me in the summer sometime. And she never got to, but at least she got to see it once with Jake. He was such a great guy. He is such a great guy. And I really wanted to see what a future with them would have looked like. I'll never, I'll never be able to replace her. I wrote a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what to say right now. I just miss her so much, and I just love her more than anything. And it shouldn't have happened. And a death sentence is one thing. You know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be all gentle and stuff. But life without parole, with a building full of people that all just want you to not be around anymore, and winking at every morning, not knowing if that's the day they're going to pull your card. I mean, it's not a very nice sentence either. So, I don't know. I just love you, Maddie, and I wish you were still here.
Thank you so much.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Kaylee Gonsalves family. First will be her father, Steve Gonsalves.
There we go. Oh shit. He turned the fucking.
Oh my gosh.
Today,
Oh my God.
we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI. You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today, you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are. Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around, looked at me and said, what do we do, Dad? I told him, you get to work. You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes, they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid. Master degree, you're a joke, complete joke. But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there, we shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country. And eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen. That will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with, God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Stephen Gonzalez, Kaylee's brother.
It's like the Goncalves family showing up too.
Stephen's actually going to pass.
It's like Maddie's family.
Olivia Gonzalez, Kaylee's sister.
Oh, it's Olivia. He said he passed.
He passed.
Hello, I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief. I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain. was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time.
Yes.
Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows?
Wow.
That was awesome.
Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me.
Wow.
But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else.
Oh my gosh. This girl's giving it to
Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow.
That's pretty good.
You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again.
I've
No one
never
is
seen
scared of you
anybody
today.
just sit there like
No one
that
is intimidated by
and
you.
talk to you
No
like
one is
that.
impressed by you.
Struggle that.
No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you.
Whoa.
You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass.
Holy
Thank
shit.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job, Olivia.
Next is Christy Gonzalez, Kaylee Gonzalez's mother.
Whew, Mama Bear.
Do you have a drink in her
Does
hand?
anybody know if he's shackled? Because he could jump up and, you know what I mean? Where's the bailiff? Okay.
Does she have a
Behind
drink?
Anna.
I heard ice cubes rattling.
It's probably ice water.
Thank you, Your Honor. I never imagined having to speak to someone so devoid of humanity. For a long time, I didn't think I'd find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee Jade Gonzalez, you didn't just take her life, you shattered others. You attacked what you could never be, and in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been changed by your cruelty. I no longer recognize parts of myself. Joy is harder to find. Laughter feels foreign. The world moves forward, but I'm suspended in a place of sorrow and rage. You've taken from me something that can never be restored. The grief sits with me every day, some days quietly, and other days so loud it drowns out everything else. The emotional toll you've inflicted on me is immeasurable. I live with a constant ache, with birthdays that are now memorials, with holidays that feel hollow, with empty chairs that scream louder than words ever could. I am forever changed. But for you, as a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction. All because you are pathetic. Now you're a joke in this courtroom. I wish I could crown you with a jester hat to complete your orange jumpsuit clown look. A dead killer doesn't kill again. So while I'm disappointed the firing squad won't get to take their shots at you, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it. See, you haven't beat the system. You've simply entered a new one, where the rules are cruel and the consequences will never end. You are entering a place where no one will care who you are and no one will ever respect you. You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. You will always be remembered as a loser, an absolute failure. And when those prison doors slam shut behind you, I hope that sound echoes in your heart for the rest of your meaningless days. I hope it reminds you of what we all already know. You're nothing. May you continue to live your life in misery. You are officially the property of the state of Idaho, where your fellow inmates are anxiously awaiting your arrival. But it's okay, because they're there to help you.
That's crazy.
Oh my
How
God.
will-
she's
she said it.
Quick message from my youngest
Oh,
daughter.
No longer gagged.
Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
Oh my God. Oh, they are clapping in there too.
Clap for the big D's. Fuck
Clap
yeah.
out loud, guys. Clap out loud for the big D's. Wow. We clap
Do we
before
have
too, you
more from the
guys.
Gonzalez family, or are you?
Yes.
Wow.
Next would be Shannon Gray, the Gonzalez family attorney. He'll be reading statements from Kaylee Gonzalez's grandmothers.
Uh-oh.
Morning, Your Honor. Shannon Gray, the attorney for the Gonzalez
Does anybody
family.
in
Actually have
chat
three
know how
statements,
Bryan
one from
reacted
her
to the
aunt and two
clapping?
from her grandparents. This is from her aunt, Tammy Butts. You, in the cloak of darkness, made a decision to turn our whole family's world upside down forever. You, in the cloak of darkness, took our Kaylee J. Gonzalez away from us all without hesitation. Never have you shown any remorse or regret. We just get creepy, non-expressive stares as you have your team of women defend you. Kaylee was a strong, kind, fun-loving, caring person, and she will greatly be missed by all her family and friends for the rest of our lives. She had goals in life that you took from her and us. We lose on watching her enjoying her life, working hard and building the future she wanted. She was ready to start that after college life. You, in the cloak of darkness, took it all away. You left us without her future wedding, her future children that she would have added to our family. No more talking to her on the phone, going for a coffee, celebrating holidays. It's all gone. You, in the cloak of darkness, gave each and every one of Kaylee's family members their own lifetime sentence. You, in the cloak of darkness, also took our Maddie Mae from all of us. She was so genuine, caring, polite. She was part of our family. You came in, harmed our children that were younger women than you in their own beds. You're nothing, you're a coward. It's not right that you have received life. I pray that you meet your end in the cloak of darkness, burn in hell. I have two other statements, Your Honor. This is Linda Lucan's statement. This is Kaylee's grandmother. I really don't know how to address something so inhumane, but I will try. Nothing in the past 2.5 years has made any sense. All I get is you cowardly went into a home at night, filled with what I'm sure you thought was all sleeping girls, and went on a vicious killing spree for no other reason but to appease your demonic urges. You took my granddaughter Kaylee from us, plus 3 other beautiful lives. You took my granddaughter, Kaylee, beautiful, sweet-souled, doll-faced Kaylee, who was getting ready to start her amazing life, who had such a bright future, who was loved by so many, who you were so envious of. She had a life you could never have. You are so beyond human. You're definitely a demon from hell. I truly wish your punishment would be the same death you inflicted on our kids. But I think you will meet some new friends in prison who will be there just to
In
help you.
chat, I'm wondering
Thumbs
who
up.
you guys think has had the most impactful statement so far.
I have one last statement, Your Honor. This is from Cheryl Gonzalez, Kaylee's other grandmother. John 1:5 says, light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcomes it not. Somewhere in your life, some jealousy, envy, ego, something went dark. It pushed out all light until you became dark and evil. And when you saw my granddaughter and her friends, their light, because they have such a light, you couldn't stand it. Because the darkness in you could not stand the light in them. And so you decided to destroy it. Cowardly, you walked into their rooms in the dark and took their lives, hoping to get rid of your darkness. But you didn't. You failed. Because you know what was once a light shown only to their friends, families, and loved ones is now all over the world. Everyone sees it. Their smile, their beauty, their plans, everything they were and had. And you think you put a close to it, even that, but you didn't. Because they still exist. They are still light. They are still beautiful. You can never take that away. They will always be in the light of all eternity. And you will be in the darkness because you could not overcome it. You failed. I want you to be gone, more than gone. I want you to be cast out. Cast out from my life, from my family, from this earth. I will not allow your hatred to penetrate into my own soul. You did not get that power. You are evil, and in the end, evil is eradicated. You didn't take Kaylee's light, you spread it into the world. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. If the are you moving to a different family now? All right, why don't we take a 10-minute recess? All right.
Cool. So we have, Army Doc, come back when you can. We do have a live at 7 o'clock. It is wrestling with Humble Among, Kosuke, and Tommy Grayson. We'll be debating JCW versus GCW. Have fun building your farm. Stay hydrated. And we'll see you on a little bit later. So we have a 10-minute break here. I was going to say that I was noticing in the chat, we're all kind of talking about body language with Bryan. I didn't realize until Cyborg Mama told me, but I didn't realize you guys would be interested in something like that. I recently found out that one of our subscribers, who is now a friend of mine, Flash Cat, she also has a lot of education that would be helpful for true crime. So we might be having her collaborate with us in the future. She is a forensic, like studies of blood splatters on the wall and stuff like that. She does that kind of thing. And if you were not aware, I have 4 college degrees, and 2 of them are in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I have a master's degree in psychology. And then I have another master's degree, but has nothing to do with psychology. That's how I have 4. But I would be happy to do like body language type videos if that's interesting to you guys, because I know Flash Cat is really good with her education, and I actually did my master's thesis on the behavior of serial killers, which is why I am absolutely dumbfounded that I had no idea that Bryan Kohberger did any of this. I still kind of feel weird about it, because if you asked me in the beginning when they started speaking, it looked like he was a little bit detached in a way, like as if, if you were watching in the chat, I said that it seemed like, I think, was it Judy, you said Ann Taylor hasn't looked up one time. And she hasn't. And I kind of felt like it's because she thinks Bryan is innocent. So she thinks like he shouldn't have to hear all this stuff. But not like that we've been watching for like an hour or whatever. I'm noticing a lot of reaction to Maddie. And I'm noticing that when Steve came up and he moved the podium so that, you know, he was facing Bryan, because Halo was pointing out, he was asking if he was facing Bryan or if he's on beside Bryan, and they're beside Bryan, if you guys don't know. So Bryan has not once looked at any of them, and neither has Ann Taylor or any of that team on that side. I noticed Bill Thompson was comforting Dylan. That was very heartbreaking to listen to. I thought that Dylan's testimony was very sad, but at the same time, you guys, we're being logical here. I mean, all emotions aside, she was present when it happened and texted for hours afterwards. I'm not really sure yet, until everything's unsealed, that one of them could have been saved, or at least there could have been an effort. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I would have more closure if I was Dylan, if I actually tried. You know what I mean? If I actually tried to help and call and get somebody over there. Like, I actually would have felt more safe quicker if I would have called anybody over there, like a neighbor, a friend, a police officer, campus security, their sorority, the fraternity right behind them. I don't know why it would take that long, but from what I was getting from what was read for Bethany, like they kind of thought that it was going to be a big joke, and like in the morning they were going to laugh and make fun of them for believing that it happened. But yeah, Chloe is saying that Kaylee's sister was the best so far. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that in chat. And who said that, Judy?
I want
She
to
said
hear his rap song again.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said 10 minutes, so we're probably getting close to that. That's fun for that.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess one at a time enjoy procrastinating my delinks to change would be a fight. So I'm passing this like I'm afraid to get a bunny fist. Look at this, my mind is pissed and I keep running. Why is this? When I hit it, always leaving stunning. Always gentle giant, no defiance, all building alliance and still think that I am present. I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present. Keep it up, act like you're all that. Here's a cookie shoe and a present. Led from a desert eagle, Jeagle's going louder than my motherfucking deagle. And you're like, you get no sequel. Treat you like one's crying like some seagulls. You are not my equal, you are equal, but I'm people. And now I'm showing regal. Don't fuck with us. You under us. Next song music.
It is pretty terrible, though.
I agree.
You didn't even.
I agree that is not only is it bad rap, but I would like to point out that he is not a juggalo. Just for disclaimer there. Bryan Kohberger is NOT. NOT.
Not.
I mean, I don't believe he ever had an album or anything. I think he's just like like a kid that had a song on SoundCloud or whatever it was on.
Yeah.
You know, we could all do that.
Yes, we can.
But yeah, it was awful. What do you guys think of that rap song? I don't know. I thought it was awful.
I kind of remembered it. I was trying to remember what it sounded like. Yeah, it's terrible.
I know that he was saying something like, "You think you're all that," Like it was like interesting. If you listen to the lyrics of it, it was pretty freaking interesting with like what he's
Right.
confessed to doing, right?
Yep. And he said mess with us.
He did say mess with us. Yeah.
Hmm.
So maybe he was like a part of a like little hoodlum gang, you know, like the little, not the get along gang, but the little hoodlum gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that was his thing.
the suburbs
He
of
was like
Pennsylvania gang.
Pennsylvania, right?
Suburbs of Pennsylvania.
He is very tall though. Like, I don't know. Maybe he was tough at a time. Maybe he is a tough guy. And we've got, see, you guys, that's the other thing. We got these images that like, I wish they would show these people like closer. Like if you watch Netflix, you did see Ethan's brother, who is quite considerably older looking and larger looking. You could see Hunter, who looks like really skinny. So we've all been shown like these images, like Brian's the nerdy guy, okay? But like, I haven't seen him with the shirt off. Have you? Like, he might be built. He might have like scrapped a little bit in his past. He might know how to fight really well, but like I said before, it just doesn't make sense with Xana like trying to stop him. Why wouldn't he just kill her? What's that?
He was going to be a police officer.
Right.
But I mean, you got to have some strength and training to do that.
Yeah, you do have to. I know to be a police officer, you have to do like a physical like test as well as like your other tests. And I think so do prison guards have to go through some kind of like physical, like a test of stamina at least. You know what I mean? So
That's correct.
yeah, Cyborg is agreeing about the I think the 911 call, but she's saying, but Dylan was 19, a child, really. Yeah, I would be even more scared at 19, I think. Not to disagree with you, but I would be even more scared. Like, I'd be quicker to call the cops at 19. I just can't believe, like it's the same amount of effort, you know what I mean, to tell somebody who could do something about it than to text Bethany for hours. It's just weird. Yes, please. I would love a water. So what are your thoughts so far, you guys? What do you think about this? We got through, who was the next person that was going to speak? Did they just say? The last one was a lawyer for the grandmother, right? The grandmothers, I believe. So that's probably all Kaylee's. We had all Maddie's. So now we need Ethan and Xana. I'm hoping they sent a statement, Ethan's family, because that's weird not to.
I just want to smoke more weed.
Well, we're gonna run out.
Yeah, I know.
We got no weed. We got no trees. Yeah. I was like, please help. We need
Please
some.
help. We only
Yeah,
have,
we had 2 live streams today, guys. So
it's like smoke time. If you want to hit us up,
yeah, so
though,
we're trying to like pace ourselves.
point your phone with the camera on right there.
If this ends early enough, might have some free time in the middle of it because we will be live pretty much all day. So if you guys want to support us, there's the information at the bottom of the screen. It would be awesome. But if you can't, that's awesome too. Just love that you're here. Yeah, and we were also, I was trying to, by the way, but that is with the YouTube taking it out. Really what I would like the donations to go to for the Venmo and the Cash App right now is we're trying to get what do you call that, Bob? A signal booster?
Yeah, that'd be
For our
great.
live event. For the gathering, which is in just 20 days or so. A signal booster for the live event where we can go live because we are on the podcast event. So for those of you who are juggalos that can't go to the gathering, that's cool. And those of you who are juggalos and can't go to the gathering, so whether you're a juggalo or not, it'll be fun. I promise. We will be live and it'll be a fun time. We'll tell you all about everything, and there'll be tons of interesting people popping up on our live stream, it'll be probably like 1,000 degrees. So we'll be probably very colorful on stream, but we will need a signal booster, and those are not cheap. And we, so yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's it.
Yay.
I didn't want that on.
What?
I like I like the other music better than that one. That one is like.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like I would turn the channel if I was listening to that music. It's like yeah, that one's more chill.
This one rattles the speakers. Makes some speakers tickle.
That's a good point, Cyborg. She said she's actually really good in emergency situations. Like if someone is, oh, that's not hers. It's afterwards that she falls apart, but then she's a whole lot older than Bethany and Dylan. That's true. Virginia's saying I don't think I'm good at certain scenes, like if someone is choking or something, I freeze up. If someone is choking, I've had people choke in front of me, and luckily I did the Heimlich maneuver right. But like when I first saw that they were choking, like I immediately panicked and thought to myself, like, do it right. You know what I mean? Like I was scared I was gonna go up and do it wrong, and like not to be like silly, but like imagine doing that wrong and walking up behind somebody and like I just think of things like that. You know what I mean? But I did save the person, but I just thought like, what if they didn't know that's what I was doing? That like just looks very like strange and inappropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness. So raccoon hugs to everybody. It looks like we have about 3 minutes left in their 10-minute break if I'm scanning the clock correctly. Cyborg and Virginia, I'm hoping you guys are able to come tonight and mod because we're trying to heavily promote that. Should be a good time.
Yeah, I got a little.
Test your luck.
There you go. That was pretty badass. And just to remind you guys, if you are a member, I haven't seen member stickers in a while.
True.
Let me see if I have member stickers. Let me try my phone. I gotta have member stickers because
You're the main member, dog.
That's right. And let's see. My phone is slow.
I have the computer. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. So she'll be there. Yeah, I know. When Brian goes on, I'm gonna take myself off the studio and let the computer take a break, and I'm gonna go on my phone.
Okay.
Because we'll also have it on there, but it should be about 2 more minutes until they come back on, guys. Any predictions for if Ethan's family is going to have a statement from a lawyer or somebody read? And then Xana, I would think Xana, AI. What's going on? What do you mean? What's happening in the chat?
Oh, I showed him this.
Oh yeah. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you didn't know what it was. That's just Bob. Just can you explain that, Bob?
It's AI.
It's
Get
just
the fuck out of here.
he just like generated this thing to see if it would do it. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times when you push the boundaries, they won't do it. It definitely did. They do a lot of weird things. Like we have this video coming out, you guys, about the gathering of the Juggalos, and it has a lot of cool people in it. And I'm just gonna give you guys a heads up. There's a part with Precious Juggalos that I saw that is so freaking cute. You guys are gonna just die. It's so cute. It's
Get the fuck out of here.
It's raccoon related. Raccoon. It's
Raccoon,
raccoon
listen.
related. But yeah, Bob is working on that video, and then we also have the live tonight, and then we also have lots of things coming up. But if you guys are interested in the body language video, I will do that. I'll just have to rewatch this and then take notes on it, put something together. Oh my gosh.
Be seated. All right, Ms. Jennings.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next family is the family of Xana Kernodle. And first would be Jasmine Kernodle, Xana's sister.
Brian looks very upset, by the way. Are you seeing that?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's pretty HD now. Check that out.
I thought he was gonna pass out.
Oh yeah, I do see the cuffs. I do see them.
Yep.
See on his wrists.
Why does he look like he's been blamed?
Why does he look what?
Hang on.
Why is it so quiet?
I don't know. Sounds all the way up here.
I went back and forth on whether to speak today because the truth is, you don't deserve power over my feelings, my words, or me.
Thank you. In the end, I realized this moment isn't about you. It's about justice for Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Maddie. It's about honoring the beautiful people they were and still are in God's eyes. On November 13th, 2022, piece of my heart was ripped away. There's no way to ever fully describe the weight of losing my sister, my best friend. No sentence or punishment will ever come close to the justice Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Maddie deserve. Xana was everyone's best friend. She was kind, she was funny. She was a gift to each person she was able to make an impact on. Xana was someone I turned to when I needed direction or advice. Although I am her older sister, I often found myself looking up to her. She had a radiant energy that everyone loved, and she always knew the right way to approach a problem. She knew how precious and special life was, and she truly did live every day to the fullest. Yet her story was cut short by an act of evil. I believe in a God whose justice is not bound by this courtroom. I find peace knowing that judgment ultimately belongs to Him. For your sake, I hope one day you feel the full weight of what you did. I hope you take accountability. I hope you truly experience the guilt and you surrender yourself to Jesus Christ. Because no punishment on this earth can ever compare to the isolation and pain of eternal separation from God. Xana deserved more. They all did. But I come here to say this. I am strong. I am brave. I'm a fighter, just like Xana. And you don't get to control how I move forward or what I believe. I walk with the comfort of knowing I will see my sister again. Xana didn't get the future she deserved. She won't be the maid of honor at my wedding, the cool aunt to my future children. I'll never hear her laugh or see her light up a room ever again. But I will carry her with me for the rest of my life. I will live in her honor, fight to be the best kind of woman and someone she's proud of, to make sure the world never forgets who she was. Xana's story doesn't end with what was taken from her. It lives through the love she gave, the people she touched, and the legacy our family will protect. Her light still shines, and her voice will echo louder than this pain. You didn't take that from us, and you never will.
Thank you.
I just want to say before I start, I'm Xana's dad, Jeff Kernodle. it's been a hard road down, you know, because she's gone. And I want to thank everybody, other their families that's speaking so far, spoke about things. I agree with everything they have to say. It all comes back to a lot of the same things that I've had to deal with and we as a family have had to deal with. And that brings me, you know, basis of what I'm talking about a little bit is on my way up here, flying up here on the plane and about halfway through the flight, this little girl is calling out for her dad. Hey, dad, dad, dad. And then in my mind, I was kind of half asleep. It's dark on the plane. I heard Xana calling out for me like she did, you know, back when she was little, 5 years old. And those times were hard. It was chaotic, but we always had something to work toward that was in a positive direction. Compared to right now, which is necessarily not as positive as that for sure. And I know not, I miss Xana a lot. My life's been changed, and Xana had a great impact on me. And the impact was when she was gone, I realized how important she was and what she really did for me, influenced me, was way beyond what I ever thought. She'd call me up on the weekends, check on me, see who's with me. She's like accountability to your youngest daughter. And that really made a big difference. It made me really think about things and what it's all about, you know. That's the things that I miss the most is those calls on the weekends, the calls at 11 at night. What's going on? You want to meet my friend? You know, whoever she's with, a couple of her friends, I can meet them, talk to them. And she always did that. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I really miss that. And she made a big impact on me, on other people, her family. But the impact that she made is so extensive on what happened here. And it goes so far. People from everywhere in the world, you know, are following things, and Xana has made a difference in their lives. So, you know, countless people told me that they might not even know her. They never knew anything about her. It's what they see, and they just love her and say how they wish she could have been their friend. You know, could have been their friend, could hung out, and it's like this is a blessing. You know, this is the little kid was, and definitely was a big blessing in my life, and so is Jasmine. And basically, you know, we worked hard to do the things we did, that, you know, through the times they were growing up, and through those times, I realized that I wanted both of them to graduate college, and that'd be the ultimate thing for them to do to prepare for the world. Then it came back to me. Xana didn't get to finish college. He had it all figured out. And this all just came back to me when I was there and that little girl was on the plane doing that. It's like where I was going, what I was going here for. And then I just realized and thought to myself about the wonderful life that she had and we had together. And we, you know, I still get to have with Jasmine, but that's the part that really counted. It's the part that really counted is those memories. And those are what I have left, the memories with her and the ones I can make with her and the life that I can go on with now, which is what she wants. And I say that in present tense because that's what she wants, because I've been told that, you know, I've been countless ways that she's out there and has a way to communicate, which I'm very grateful for. That goes to say that
the impact of what happened to them, all 4 kids, goes so much further than just not me, the parents, the families, the community. It goes so far because a lot of kids, you know, in the colleges, just for an example, they locked their doors now. The door wasn't locked in the back. You know, at Penn State or wherever it was, all the colleges I know that I've heard, they all lock their doors now. So maybe the impact that it's going to make is going to help out and maybe protect some people. Having this outreach and having the influence of what these kids, what happened to these kids did, you know. All I know is I was 7 miles away when it happened, and I had she wasn't feeling that good. It was 11:30, and I almost went over to Susanna's to say, and I would have been sitting right there on that couch, and you had to deal with me. So they would have had a chance, and I regret that, and I regret not going. But the reason why I didn't is because Susanna said, "Don't be drinking and driving. You got the rental car. Don't be drinking and driving." You know, the week before that, so she was she would have been mad at me to do that. But I really wish I would have drunk and drove, you know, because they would have had a chance, all 4 of them. At this point, I just have to go on. We're gonna go on with everything and make things better in my life, because that's what it's all about. I have closure in things, and the part that we miss is Santa, her influence, her smile, the things that she did, and we have the memories left, the great memories, and she just wants us to make more memories and not be sad or upset or shocked or taken for that, you know. And that's what we're gonna do. We just have to. That's all I got.
Thank you for your words and your courage, and bless your family.
Next, Kim Kernodle would like to address the court.
Whoa. Interesting.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Kim Kernodle. I am Xana's aunt. I was very blessed to have her in my life, in our family. And I thought I had everything in my head, what I wanted to say, but it kind of went out. And I'm always looking for the positive thing, because evil, hate can destroy people. And that's what it started doing with our family. It created anger with our family members. And then I had to look, because Xana was everything that the media, her friends said. She was that fun, loving, high-spirited, beautiful person. And I no longer get to get my nails done with her, have lunch with her. Sorry. But how I look at it now is this tragedy, this horrible tragedy on all of the 4 children, has brought us closer. You united us with your actions. We're united now, and we're stronger than ever. We have family and friends now that we never knew we had. And, you know, this is probably going to bother everybody, but Bryan, I'm here today to tell you I have forgiven you, because I no longer could live with that hate in my heart. And for me to become a better person, I have forgiven you. And anytime you want to talk and tell me what happened, get my number. I'm here. No judgment. because I do have answers or questions that I want you to answer. And I'm here. I'll be that one that'll listen to you. Okay? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
My name is Stratton Knodel, and I'm Xana's uncle, Jeff's brother. Sitting here today listening to the stories and feelings and feeling the pain from everybody is a pretty powerful thing. It's each time a statement was read, it sort of would tug into my center core as I felt everybody's anguish. And Xana meant a lot to us, and we loved her very much. But I started thinking about, instead of rehashing everything that everybody else has talked about, I wanted to direct it another direction toward Bryan and what he's done to his family, his parents, his siblings, his friends, his universe. He has contaminated, tainted their family name, and pretty much made a horrible, miserable thing to be ever related to him. And I know that that's what he has to live with, and that has to be his pain. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, I believe Randy Davis, stepfather to Xana Kernodle, would like to address the court.
Hi, my name's Randy, stepdad of Xana. I just feel the same way we all do. All of us are united because of something that happened. And I'm grateful to know and have met some new family because of this awful event. But this is probably the last time we're all going to be in the same room together. Let's be real. So I can say, I love you all, and I feel your pain. And just God bless us all, you know, just get through it. I had stuff wrote up. It was probably best I didn't read it out. Probably get kicked out of here. So, you know, I'll share one thing to you guys, not to you, with Xana. So I was working in North Dakota and came home, and Jazzy and Xana had taken our son Elijah and put him in a dress, makeup, and it was awful, you know. I was like, I don't know. She was funny. I told her she'd be in the movies and be somebody great one day like that. And now she is just above us as an angel with all the other beautiful kids. So let's hold that to our hearts, because this evil thing is not going to take nothing from us. You, man, I don't know what my limits are here, but I'm really struggling, dude. I am struggling. So I want to just be out in the woods with you, just so I can teach you about loss and pain. I love God.
I thought Steve was going to talk like
That's
that.
up to him. But I guarantee you, you are weak. God, I would just give a moment, man, 5 minutes out in the woods. Oh, man.
Wow.
You're going to go to hell. I know people believe in other stuff. You're evil. There's no place for you in heaven. You took our children. You are going to suffer, man. I'm shaking because I want to reach out to you, but I hope you feel my energy, okay?
He's moving towards
Go to
him.
hell.
Do you see that? That's cool.
Next is Kara Northington, Xana's mother.
Oh. Oh my goodness. I think she'll be pretty emotional, like angry.
I'm Karen Northington. I am Xana Kernodle's mother. This letter is to you, really, but it's for my daughter, who was murdered by you. Today I stand before you, the man who is responsible for murdering my beautiful daughter, Xana Kernodle. My daughter was beautiful both inside and out. She possessed love for those around her and had a light so bright it will live on forever in our hearts. She brought joy and laughter to her friends, her family, and anyone in her presence. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, now has her in his loving arms in heaven, where she can never be harmed ever again for eternity. Because of her, I came to know my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because of her, many will come to Christ. It is Christ who lives in me that has given me the strength to forgive you. It was of no power of my own. In return, the Lord has filled me with joy, hope, and peace that surpasses all understanding. Jesus has allowed me to forgive you for murdering my daughter without you even being sorry or asking for this. This is only possible because he who lives in me is greater than any evil in this world. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I do not fear you or even let you rent space in my head anymore. This forgiveness has released me from any and all evil you have inflicted on me and my family. It has allowed me to let our Lord deal with you. You have accepted a deal that will prevent you from receiving the death penalty. Nothing man can do to you can ever compare to the wrath of God. Inevitably, you will stand before our Lord and will have to answer to him over the sins you have committed in murdering our children. I pray you come to the end of yourself before that day. Whether you like it or not, heaven is for real and so is hell. The innocent life of Xana that you stole from myself and my family, and the destruction it has caused. I am washing my hand of you and turning you over to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, whom vengeance belongs to. In closing, I want to read a passage from the Bible, Ephesians 6, King James Version. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and then in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, that ye may be able to stand in the evil day.
What's happening? Oh.
I'm not going to share memories of Xana or any more of the goodness of her with you, because I do not want that to be in your head. I don't want it to be in your head. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve our good memories that we have. I do pray for you. I pray that you come to the end of yourself. I pray that before this life is over, that you ask our Lord and Savior in your heart and to forgive you. I do pray for that. But after today, I wash my hands of you and you are no longer a thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wasn't trying to interrupt her. I thought she walked away. That's what I thought.
I don't believe the state has any other victim impact statements.
Okay, that's it.
No, that's it for the victim impact statements.
Yeah,
So,
Right, stake and argue.
Take an Arby's order.
no, he said the
Thank
state
you.
can argue.
He
Oh
said
my
he wanted to.
Get some from Arby's.
Just as a housekeeping matter to start,
I want curly
there will be the issue of restitution. That is, the documentation is being gathered, and we ask the court would defer that for 30 days so we can present it in an orderly fashion and make sure it's comprehensive for everyone.
Any objection to leaving restitution open in 60 days? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think it's necessary and appropriate to share for everyone here, including the court, the background that brings us in front of Your Honor today for these proceedings. As the record reflects, and as everybody in this courtroom knows, the defendant has pleaded guilty to all 5 counts charged in the indictment. Under oath before Your Honor, he has admitted that the charges against him are true. He has reassured the court that he has not been coerced or threatened to make those admissions. And Your Honor did an extraordinary job in taking the pleas back on July 2nd. We appreciate the court's discipline and insight. The defendant has also waived appeal on the multitude of rulings from this court and Your Honor's predecessor in Latah County on dozens, literally dozens of motions seeking to dismiss the case, seeking to control or limit evidence, seeking to offer evidence that would not be appropriate. And we appreciate the court's consistent rulings based on the law, based on the facts. As Your Honor will recall, on June 18th, just really not that long ago, we appeared before this court for arguments on what became the defendant's final motions to this court. Motion where they wanted to offer evidence suggesting that other people were responsible for the defendant's actions, and the motion seeking essentially an indefinite continuance of the trial. It was readily apparent to all of us in the courtroom from Your Honor's comments that those motions were not going to be granted. So we returned to Moscow and continued with what we had been working on for months in preparation for trial. We had no qualms about going to trial if trial was what was necessary and appropriate. The following week after we were in court, we were approached by the defense with an inquiry about a possible plea. And I can tell the court this is the first suggestion ever that there was any consideration, because indeed the defense had maintained from the beginning that Mr. Kohberger, the defendant, was factually innocent. It's clear that the reality of the evidence and the case that had been investigated and prepared and that we were ready to present in court became a reality. Our reaction, among other things, was to reach out to all the families. And in fact, later that week, on Thursday and Friday of that last week of June, we met with representatives by teams, virtual meetings with representatives of all the families. And we talked about the status of the case and the upcoming trial and things that related to the trial. And we also let them know that there had been an inquiry about whether there might be an offer for a plea. And we asked the family members for their thoughts and feelings. And they were candid. And they have been candid since, and we respect that. And we understand, recognize, and acknowledge that there was a difference of opinion among representatives of the different families. We understand that. One of the challenges of this case, one of the unique things about this case is we have multiple victims, each unique unto themselves, their families and friends unique unto themselves, and all of them entitled to their opinions, all of them entitled to their thoughts. Over the following weekend, our prosecution team, very skilled attorneys who were personally as well as professionally deeply invested in this case, met. And we talked, and the decision was reached. Well, to start with, were there to be any sort of plea offer or discussion, there's only one possibility. And that would be for the defendant to plead guilty straight up to all charges. There would be no bargaining about counts. There would be no bargaining about reduced sentences. And so we made the proposal to the defense that if the defendant was willing to plead guilty up front to all 5 counts as charged and waive appeal of the court's myriad decisions during the past 2.5+ years on all these motions that would have consumed years, if not decades, of time in the future. By the end of the weekend, we were notified the defendant was prepared to plead guilty as charged and factually acknowledge his responsibility in court for these horrible crimes. Obviously, those discussions and negotiations were confidential. And as Your Honor noted, I believe that was necessarily so, because if the defendant had decided not to plead guilty, it would have been devastating to our jury pool for there to be public information that there had been consideration by either party to a plea resolution. And protecting the prospective integrity of a trial after so many years was paramount. So, the end of the weekend came. We notified the victims' families of what had occurred. I recognize and acknowledge personally, and I respect the fact that of these fine, suffering people here, not everybody agreed with the decision we make. I accept that. It's my responsibility in the end. I recognize that that's the duty of the office that I hold. So now, it is time for the judicial system to impose final judgment and close the door on this chapter of these tragedies. As the court is aware, by the agreement of the parties, it is the state's prayer. Perhaps have the Elmo police turned on.
Oh, I can't type what I mean.
Thank you.
What did he just say?
That on count 1,
the
felony
Not
burglary, the court sentenced the defendant to the maximum period of 10 years fixed in the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction. Then on count 2,
Oh,
That the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Maddie Mogen. On count 3, that the court sentenced the defendant.
Is this normal?
to cry? I
Fixed
don't think
life
so. No.
for the murder of Kaylee Gonzalez. On count 4, that the court sentenced the defendant
I feel like it's
to
weird.
fixed life for the murder of Xana Kernodle.
It's just making everybody cry again.
On count 5,
Yeah, it's his final argument for the
court
sentence. I
sentenced the
noticed they took
defendant
the close-up of Bryan away
to fixed life
for that.
for the murder.
I'll have to zoom that later for my body language thing.
And the state further prays that these sentences be ordered
Cyborg, are
to
you
run
watching?
He's looking at
back
something.
to back, not at the same time, to recognize and respect
It looked like he was looking at
the
whatever they were
unique
showing on the
individuality
screen.
of each of these beautiful young people whose lives were taken brutally and for no reason.
Community stranger were echoing. a
And
lot.
hopefully now, as we have heard earlier this morning, it is time to afford the families and the friends and the community and the state of Idaho and the nation and the world to move forward. We can't undo, and we can never undo, the horror of what occurred on the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022 at 1122 King Street in Moscow, Idaho. For a long time, the presiding district judge in Latah County was John Stegner, who eventually became a member and a justice of the Idaho Supreme Court. And Justice Stegner often observed that even God cannot change the past. But everyone in this room has the ability to take themselves forward. And we want the judicial system to afford them the opportunity today to do that. From today forward, our memories should be focused on these innocent victims whose lives were taken, on their families, on their friends, on the community. The court has heard discussion, talk today, reminiscences today about a special family that our victims shared, not just their natural, legal, and biological families, not just their university family within their sororities, for example. But this family. This is the picture taken on November 12th, 2022, of a special family of 1122 King Road. And you can see all 6 of these dynamic, vibrant, loving, special, innocent faces taken together just across the street from their residence. And barely 12 hours before 4 of them would be brutally murdered in their sleep. They've been described consistently as being bright, caring, vivacious, with futures we can only imagine now. But they were, and they remain, a special family that I think we should all recognize and appreciate. So it's time to move forward. There have been a number of statements directed specifically at the defendant today. I have one last thought. After Your Honor imposes judgment and sentences the defendant to spend the rest of his life in prison, in other words, sentence the defendant to die in prison, he's going to stand up in the belly chains and leg irons that he's wearing today, and he's going to be escorted into the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction. And the door will close behind him forever. That is the closure that we seek, that all of these people, these loving friends and family deserve, so that we can move forward. Thank you, Your Honor.
See, that's crazy because everybody wants to know, but they want to just keep hiding every detail. Damn it.
All right, does the defense have evidence to present today? All right. Does defense wish to make argument today?
No. Brian looks at her just fine.
Kohberger, you have an opportunity to make a statement if you wish to. I take it you are declining.
I respectfully decline.
Well,
Pussy.
He said I respectfully decline, I believe.
please.
What a piece of shit.
All right, let me start this morning by acknowledging and thanking those that have come here today in support of their loved ones. And I appreciate your courage and your strength. And I hope that you are able to move on as best as possible. Thank counsel for the professionalism that they've exhibited throughout this case. It's been my great honor to preside in this case and to help bring
Great observation, Dr. Fell.
possible.
They don't even have a microphone to speak.
Resolution and hopefully justice to this case. During the quiet morning hours of November 13, 2022, a faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them.
Now he's going to start crying? What the fuck?
Who committed this unspeakable evil was unknown for several weeks.
Sad.
But due to the killer's incompetence and outstanding police work by numerous local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, the person that slithered through that sliding glass door at 1122 King Road now stands before the world and this court
There it goes, Bob.
unmasked. This unfathomable and senseless act of evil has caused immeasurable pain and loss. No parent should ever have to bury their child. This is the greatest tragedy that can be inflicted upon a person. Parents who took their children to college in a truck filled with moving boxes had to bring them home in hearses lined with coffins. The loss this killer inflicted was not just the death of these people's children, siblings, grandchildren, as we've heard today.
Dr. Bell.
It has ripped a hole in their soul, destroying a special part of their very essence. Any person who is a parent defines themselves foremost as such. It is their existence and purpose of being. And it has been stolen from these parents. None of us have experienced the loss these victims have in the unspeakable way that they have. And therefore, none of us can, nor should we, question the way in which they have handled their loss. Whether that be in private mourning, removed as far as possible from this media circus, or in front of a camera demanding retribution with the loudest megaphone. I've listened intently to the stories and pain that have been shared today, with great awe at the courage and resilience of the surviving family members of those wonderful children. I've listened also to the surviving roommates, both in person and through their friends. And I can't think of how, frankly, courageous they have been despite the hell that they have faced by uncaring people who have come up with all kinds of crazy theories about two kids simply being kids. The parents, siblings, and other family members who have spoken today are designated as victims in our legal system. But going forward, I hope that they can shed that label, as it gives too much power to the evil that condemned them to that role. They are and should be known as survivors, fighters, and foremost as witnesses to the tremendous lives of value and unbounded promise of these four young people. But those speaking today and those who did not speak, but who carry the same burden, this same loss, now carry forward the memories of these now perpetually young people, these forever children. These survivors carry the responsibility of ensuring that the voices of these children, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, are never forgotten, and the positive impacts that they have had on so many lives are never minimized, and that the love they shared, the light that they shined onto others is forever celebrated. As we sit here today, this case is ending, and we are now certain who committed these unspeakable acts of evil, but we don't know, and what we may never know is why. I share the desire expressed by others to understand the why. But upon reflection, it seems to me, and this is just my own opinion, that by continuing to focus on why, we continue to give Mr. Kohberger relevance. We give him agency and we give him power. The need to know what is inherently not understandable makes us dependent upon the defendant to provide us with a reason, and that gives him the spotlight, the attention, and the power he appears to crave. Yet even if I could force him to speak, which legally I cannot, how could anyone ever be assured that what he speaks is the truth? Do we really believe, after all of this, he's capable of speaking the truth or of giving up something of himself to help the very people whose lives he destroyed? Rather, I suspect the so-called reason would be dished out in enticing, self-serving, and aggrandizing untruthful bits, leaving people wanting more information, more insight, and thus enhancing even further the power he seeks to hold. Even if we could get truthful insight into his why, I suspect it would not in any way quench one's thirst for actually understanding why in the first instance. Because there is no reason for these crimes that could approach anything resembling rationality. No conceivable reason could make any sense. And in the end, the more we struggle to seek explanation for the unexplainable, the more we try to extract a reason, the more power and control we give to him. In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame. It's time that he be consigned to the ignominy and isolation of perpetual incarceration. I know there has been concern about him collaborating on books or movies or other media projects, and I truly hope that someone does not stoop to affording him this spotlight that he desires in the name of clicks royalties, or profits. While criminal behavioralists should study him away from the spotlight in an attempt to prevent other would-be killers from acting on their worst impulses, there should be no need for that to spill over into the public eye. The great Idaho jurist Edward Lodge was known for trying to find something positive about every person he ever sentenced. And with over a half a century as a trial judge, that was a lot of people. This was often challenging, and I recall in one case he said that the best he could come up with was the defendant had good penmanship. Truth be told, I'm unable to come up with anything redeeming about Mr. Kohberger because his grotesque acts of evil have buried and hidden anything that might have been good or intrinsically human about him. His actions have made him the worst of the worst. Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, nothing suggesting even a recognition or understanding, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused. And therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society. And accordingly, based upon his conduct and based upon the record before this court, recognizing the standards that govern this court's sentencing decisions as set forth in State v. Toohill, I hereby sentence Mr. Kohberger as follows. On count 1, burglary, 10 years fixed, 0 years indeterminate. I also impose a fine of $50,000. Count 2, first-degree murder of Madison Mogan. I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000.
Why is he
and a
finding
civil penalty of
$50,000?
$5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 3, for first-degree murder of Kaylee Gonzalez, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the victim of the family, or to the family of the victim, pardon me. On count 4, for the first-degree murder of Xana Kernodle, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. On count 5, for the first-degree murder of Ethan Chapin, I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fine of $50,000, and a civil penalty of $5,000 payable to the family of the victim. The sentences on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shall run consecutively to one another. Restitution will be left open for 60 days. Defendant will be required to submit a DNA sample and a right thumbprint impression to the Department of Corrections and comply with the DNA Database Act. I remand the defendant to the custody of the Idaho State Board of Corrections for to be imprisoned in an appropriate facility in execution of the sentence where he will remain until he dies. Though you have waived your right to appeal, you do have a right to file a notice of appeal, and any such appeal must be filed within 42 days of the date of the written judgment, which will be entered shortly hereafter. Though the appeal, you should be aware, may be deemed a violation of the plea agreement, and so I certainly suggest you discuss that with counsel if that is your desire. I ask the media and public present to allow the families to be escorted out first before they leave. Again, thank you to everyone for your stories today. I am strengthened by them, and I am encouraged by your humanity and strength. And God bless you. We're adjourned.
Wow, they would turn that camera right off.
Wow. Okay, so put yourself on screen so they have something to look at.
Okay, hang on one second.
Okay, so wow. I was very shocked that Bryan Kohberger did not speak. Not totally shocked, but very shocked, completely like caught off guard that they didn't even have a microphone over there. Like, Obviously, everybody was aware he wasn't going to speak. It was just a formality to ask him. Otherwise, they would have had a microphone over there.
Right.
But my favorite part of the victim statements was definitely, I know a lot of you like Olivia's best. Mine was definitely Steve Goncalves, because Steve Goncalves actually moved the podium. I thought that was very, very bold.
Yeah, that was alpha. That was totally alpha of him, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's more alpha than we know. I'm pretty sure it's more alpha than we know. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear about something on the news about at least Bryan Kohberger being harmed. I don't have information about that or anything. It's just a
Well, I mean, just from all like
speculation.
All the statements were just like the two. What did Steve say? He said something like people are just waiting for you to come in to prison or some shit. So who's just waiting for him?
It's a lot to take in, thinking that like, okay, so you guys, now let's just picture this. Bryan Kohberger just got sentenced. There are grabbing people out of there, grabbing family members, trying to get statements, whatever, and then they wait for everybody to leave, or they make Bryan leave first, whichever the case is. But just picture that step away from where he's sitting, knowing like this is all over. I wonder if he's more satisfied that it's over, or he's actually starting to become afraid, like of the other inmates, because he will have to be in general population. He is just another murderer. He's not like the most dangerous man in the world. He's like a murderer, and he will be amongst other murderers who may or may not have some kind of tie to one of these four families in some way.
Do you want to watch
no
the outside for a little bit?
I want to watch what?
The outside of the courtroom. I'll put it up on the screen.
Can you show it? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta wait for commercials here.
No problem.
Okay.
Bryan has a separate exit from everyone else, Cyborg says. Shout out to Halo Carney for the $5 Venmo and Cyborg Mama for the $10 Venmo. We are taking donations for pizza today as well, because we will be unable to do anything else but Strange Suspicion today, because we'll have a lot.
Yeah, we're totally.
We're swamped. So if you want to donate a buck or two, the information's on the bottom of the screen. We'll definitely shout you out and appreciate it very, very much. I agree, Virginia. The family statements were very excellent. It looks like they probably took Bryan out first, because I'm not seeing anything. Looks like the doors are starting to open. I thought when we looked earlier, there was tape, right?
What?
There was tape out the front before, remember?
I think that was yesterday, wasn't it?
So the other thing is, I don't know that they would leave out the front, because remember when they left that other time, they left out the side door.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the only kind of thing I got.
Where's Bobby Biscuits? Dr. Fell wants to know.
Where is he?
Yeah.
He's on the couch.
He's behind me.
I went and gave him some treats just a second ago. He got to lay down and eat them. Just imagine that if you were right.
You guys, Bobby Biscuits is a badass cat, and he like jumps up on counters and stuff, but he currently has an injury. So he's taking it easy. His back, is it left leg?
Yep, his left leg. I think he pulled it trying to jump or hurt it somehow. There's something going on. Oh, nice.
That's weird. You know who that guy looks like?
No.
That looks like the grandfather from Kylie Rodney. It did. Did you guys see him?
Yeah, I saw
That
him.
looks like the grandpa from Kylie Rodney.
Yeah, I don't know what this shot
I don't know. He might want to go to a case like that. That kind of makes sense. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Is that the sound on here?
What? Yeah, that's their sound. Yeah, I don't see anything out there, guys. Do you see anything?
No.
Take
Yeah,
care. Oh, my
What
Rod.
time is it? It's almost. We can go till 2 o'clock if you want. And then we could have a couple hours break.
That would be great. Because you guys, just so you know, we really, really appreciate you guys joining us for this, and hopefully you'll join us later on tonight. We really, really appreciate it. And it is kind of like a long day for us because we're going to be doing the wrestling thing. But just so you guys know, for those of you who will be joining us tonight for the wrestling thing, it's going to be Humble and Kosuke, and they're going to be like debating which is better, JCW, GCW, and it's going to be led by Tommy Grayson. So I will be on the stream, Bob will be on the stream, but we're going to do a lot of stuff in the chat. So hopefully you guys will come back for that, and we'll be able to hang out a little bit more than usually that we do. Oh, look at that. There's $2 from Dr. Fell. Thank you so much, Dr. Fell.
Thank you.
Pat on the head for Bobby Biscuits. Bobby. He just got one. Great coverage. Thank you, Strange. I need to take care of some things. See you later. Okay. So yeah, we'll probably just end it then, right? We'll just end it, and we will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you live in the Central Time Zone, that's 6 p.m. And if you live in Pacific Time Zone, that would be 4. Is that right, Cyborg? 4 p.m. We'll be on for quite a while once we start. So please make sure and join us, and please make sure and get a hold of us on any social media with content requests. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Right, bud?
Yep. Love
Right.
you
So
guys.
see you soon. Love you guys.
You're watching Strange Suspicion. We'll be right back.
Why don't you try being positive about shit for once? You know what I'm saying?
Keeping up with the Juggalo news.
And it comes in my feed every now and then, and I'll just look at it.